Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Tiny Spaceship with Legs, Dan Ryan.
Oh, just the tiniest of little legs.
It is apparently time for the Alphabet Super Series. I don't know what I'm doing. It was my pick for the letter F, and I went with the Sega Master System classic Fantasy Zone The Maze, or Fantasy Zone 3. It's got some weird subtitle in some region. I don't remember. Yeah. But anyway, it's neat. It's different. It's little. It's yellow. It's different. It's got a white grid on it. Is it any good, though? We'll talk about it in a second. Look out for something. I don't know what any of the things in this game are, and I didn't write a script. The Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
Nailed every single second of that.
Every
I mean, that was
syllable of it.
No one's going to know. Nobody is going to listen to that and be like, man, I wonder if Kris wrote a script this week. I can't tell.
To be fair, I think I pulled off the nickname pretty well. I did that.
No, that was good.
That was spot on, and then I couldn't follow through.
And then it all fell apart.
Hi everyone, this is episode 630. It is the week of August 14th, 2026, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, Dan, I talked to Evan about this a little bit last night, and I'm going to talk to you about it again, because it's still on my mind. Is that something the internet has told me is really easy? I'm here to say either I'm just incredibly dumb or it's not as easy as the internet tells me it is, and that is homemade chicken nuggets.
Okay.
I'm just saying, they get these little videos to show up and look at this. You don't want to eat these frozen chicken nuggets. They got all this extra stuff in them. They got you don't know what's in there. There's all kinds of garbage. You should make your own. They come out way healthier, and they're absolutely delicious. And you know what? Maybe if you're making chicken nuggets for just yourself and you still want to deep fry them, that's still a lot of work. But to get them right without deep frying them, which is the point, is to make them healthier.
Right.
I'm getting close. This was last night was my fourth attempt. And each time has been good, but no time has been great. I'm getting closer. I'm actually aiming for a little bit more of a chicken McNugget kind of situation, like they're battered instead of breaded.
Sure.
And it's been a very long time since I've indulged in a McNugget, so I can't say that the flavor is. I can't really speak to where the flavor is on the accuracy scale. Wow, that was harder to say than it should have been. But what I have been making has been very good.
So what is the difficulty that you are finding?
Well, for baking them...
And that sounded like I was ready to provide guidance, which I am not.
The difficulty stems from having them come out crispy, tasty, and not dry. I came very close last night. So the previous attempt was a recipe that I tried that involved no breading at all. It's just like you mix this stuff in with the meat, and then you shape that into nuggets, throw that shit in the oven, and they will come out looking like chicken nuggets, even though they're not breaded. And they were pretty tasty, but they were a touch dry, and they were very spicy. I didn't necessarily mind the spice, but there was a lot of flavor going on, like a lot. So the ones I did last night was I combined two different recipes. I took that recipe where just take two chicken breasts, throw them in the your food processor.
Yeah.
And then you add various other spices to that, like garlic and some Parmesan cheese and like your salt and pepper and paprika. But I halved all of the spices because, the kids were like, this is just too spicy. So I halved all that stuff, and I think the chicken itself came out great. The batter, however, was way thicker than it should be. Like, you want the batter to obviously to stick to the nuggets enough to make, to be battered, but this was so much that when I tried to drain the batter off before putting it on the silpat before going into the oven, not enough batter dripped off. And then as I was making more nuggets, because I made 24 of them, the batter would just kind of ooze off, and then it just turned into this giant tray full of nuggets that were all stuck together, like with a layer of batter. Now, don't get me wrong, it was tasty, but all the nuggets I had to like carve out of this shell of batter that just like covered the whole pan. And also because I used a silpat instead of parchment paper, or what I probably should have used was aluminum foil, the bottom of them didn't get they didn't crisp up as much, because aluminum foil gets hotter than the silpat does. Yeah. And so the bottoms of them didn't crisp up as well as I wanted to. They were real close. French fries, I believe I have nailed. I have gotten very good at baking and making French fries from scratch. That's been working out great. But
that's very exciting.
It is very exciting, and it's like I kept, again, this is something that my Facebook algorithm would throw at me, like, here's this neato thing that you could do that's French fries. Just chop them up and, toss them in some stuff, throw them in the air fryer, you're good to go. It's like, that is absolutely not what you need to do. There's a very important step in between. You chop them up, you have to rinse them, and then you have to rinse them again. And then this other video thing I looked up online, like, you got to soak them for like a half an hour. And if you soak them for half an hour, that's going to get more of that stuff out. Right. And that was close, but still didn't quite yield the results that I wanted to.
And then don't you have to, like, dry them off after that? Like, pat them dry and all that shit?
You want them to be decently dry. But instead of soaking them, I boiled them. Not enough to get them to, like, mashed potatoes, just for a couple of minutes. Boiled them for a couple of minutes, then strained them, then dumped them out on a towel, laid them between two towels and put a cookie sheet on top of them, let them sit for 20 minutes or so they really dried out. Then toss them in some olive oil, salt, and pepper, whatever other spices you want. I just kept it simple. And then throw those in the oven at 450 degrees for 40 minutes. That shit came out great. Boiling them made the texture French fry. It was fantastic.
Now,
so I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Go on.
Was that worth the effort?
It's not as much effort as it sounds. It's certainly way more effort than just opening up a bag of frozen French fries and throwing them in an air fryer, if your air fryer works. But, unfortunately, those bagged French fries are considerably less healthy than just chopping up a potato. Like, there's a lot more.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So the effort, as far as, because we're just trying to eat better around the house, and that is the kind of the impetus behind this, with the chicken nuggets and the French fries, and just making healthier versions of the foods that we genuinely enjoy. I'd say it will be worth the effort, especially not in the fucking summer. Because when I am boiling water and then using that same pot to, like, boil a few ears of corn, and I've got both ovens going, it's really hot. Like, my air conditioner in my house doesn't work great to begin with, so this is definitely a fall meal that I'll be doing this in the fall more than now. I did try before with the chicken, just getting ground chicken. And that wound up being surprisingly drier. But I do think I might try that again, because ground chicken tends to have some, like, thigh meat in there too. Add just that little extra bit of fat, and might keep them. Now that I've improved my technique a tad, I might try the ground chicken again. But also that is more expensive than just buying a chicken breast and grinding it up in your food processor. So I don't know. I
don't know. I find, at least over this way, chicken thighs are certainly cheaper than, like, thin sliced chicken breast and shit.
Yeah, and you don't even want thin sliced chicken breast. You just get the big old tatas, throw a couple of them in there, and you're good to go. Like,
giant
they don't need to be
old chicken titty.
It's just a big old chicken tits. What was it? Somebody referred to ground beef as cow confetti. It's like, yes.
Aw, well, I love that.
That's fantastic.
I haven't had cow confetti in a long time because it's just too expensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but hamburgers are a meal that John will eat. So when it has been vaguely affordable, we've been going for it just so that we can have like 1 or 2 meals in the week that we all eat. And it's been worth the expense, but it has been, like everything in life, way too damn expensive.
Yeah, I made dinner this evening. I made creamy coconut gochujang chicken over sticky rice, and it was fucking delicious. And I cannot imagine that is a recipe that I will send you, because most of those words sound like words that John would not go anywhere near.
Definitely not. And as soon as you mentioned coconut, I was out. So
yeah,
not a coconut fan.
It was really fucking good, though. If we're being honest, that's what I'm saying. Like this cooking thing.
I don't want to be
hard.
dishonest. Honesty is important.
It's not that hard. I don't know why everybody makes a big deal out of it.
What, cooking?
Yeah. Super easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, really.
I knew this one guy that refused to cook. He actually refused to cook raw meat.
Yeah.
I think his name was Ryan Dan.
Yes. Ryan Danielson, I believe is who you're referring to.
That guy was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, hey. I also made this week, since we're just talking about dinner, because I've been trying to find some ways to reduce our meat intake, but still keep like high enough or relatively enough protein in everybody's diet. So I've been trying to like replace certain meals with beans, right?
Oh yes. See, I love beans. Karen,
oh my god, so do I.
Does not like beans. Karen hates beans and fish, which makes me very sad all the time because I love beans and fish. I love those things.
Those two things are fucking awesome. I made cacio e pepe beans this week. So it's basically just cacio e pepe, but replace the pasta with white beans. And it was fucking awesome.
I mean, it sounds like it has a lot of syllables in it. I have no idea what you said.
Like cacio e pepe is
that just sounds like the Charlie Brown parents. Whatever you just said.
It's a pasta dish. It basically means it's pecorino romano cheese and like fresh black pepper is basically like the star of the dish. But instead of having like a cheap box of pasta, and all of that shit, you just replace any meat or pasta with white beans, and it was fucking awesome.
Well, before you had my curiosity, but now you have my erection.
That's right, baby. We're going to do pizza beans later this week. Or next week, I mean.
Explain.
I don't know. It's a recipe I saw, came up on TikTok. Some fucking dude was like, yo, pizza these beans. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Fuck it.
Now, what is the intent behind cutting back on meat?
Just, it's expensive, first of all. And second of all, the one thing that most cultures that have the longest lifespan have in common is that they eat a lot less meat and a lot more beans and rice. So, in an attempt to maybe mimic some of that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. It's more just the expense. Like, I hate just going to the grocery store and just being fucking angry about what I'm buying, because then I'm not going to enjoy eating it. Because I'm mad about how much it cost. You know?
I do. Oh, I do. Fortunately,
Whereas,
we've been doing pretty okay in that department. But yeah, we don't really buy it. Like red meat in particular, we almost never do. It's mostly we do things with chicken and sometimes sausage, like with pizza, and various other things. But yeah, nine times out of 10, it's some sort of chicken dish, which is pretty inexpensive. Fish is unfortunately expensive, but I'll buy a bunch of frozen fish and then kind of go from there. Shrimp.
Yeah, fish doesn't happen all that often because Tiff hates it. So, she a bitch, though.
Bitches hate fish.
Bitches hate fish. That is true.
Bitches love cannons. Bitches hate fish.
Anyway,
video games.
Video games. And this isn't even us stalling for time because Fantasy Zone was bad. Usually that's what this is.
We're just talking about food. I'd rather let's discuss. Let's have a chat about the Alphabet Super Series. So this is
proper chinwag.
Yes, a proper chinwaggle. Every month, Dan and I take turns picking games from various letters of the alphabet, and it was my turn to pick for the letter F, and I went with Fantasy Zone: The Maze. Oh, I gotta change the music now. I already put together all the music for that. It's fine. It's neither here nor there.
No.
Fantasy Zone: The Maze is something that I have always wanted to try. I have had an empty box for this game forever, and I've never actually had the cartridge. And for some reason, I never got around to properly trying the game. And now that I have, I'm sad that I hadn't tried it before. So let's take a look at the old. Let's look at Sega Retro. What does Sega Retro have to say about this? Sega Retro is determining that I'm a human. All right, let's see. According to Sega Retro, Fantasy Zone: The Maze, known in Japan as Opa Opa, is an entry in the Fantasy Zone series of video games. It was released for Sega System E arcade hardware in 1987, with a Sega Master System version following shortly afterwards. It is often referred to as Fantasy Zone 3, though this is not an official title. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
What time period the story takes place in varies by region. Western manuals state that the game takes place after the events of Fantasy Zone 2, The Tears of Opa Opa, and after their first two defeats by Opa Opa, the Menons have returned to take over the Fantasy Zone, building mazes on each of the planets. Opa Opa has lost most of his energy from having previously defeated the Menons twice, and so his younger brother, Oopa Oopa, volunteers to fight alongside him to help him defeat the Menons once more. The Japanese manual and the in-game epilogue instead place the game before the events of the original Fantasy Zone, with Opa Opa and Oopa Oopa undergoing training so they may be allowed to wield weapons with them at all times and be able to defend the Fantasy Zone from enemy threats one day. I did not know that the Fantasy Zone lore was such a rich tapestry.
Oh, it really is. It's a very it's a deep familial story.
Yeah. Really is with a subtitle like The Tears of Opa Opa, it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't be that. But anyway, Fantasy Zone: The Maze, now that I've finally played it, the first thing that hit me like a pimp was the music.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Just opened up its hand and slapped me like I owed it money. So I love...
Jesus.
I love the Fantasy Zone soundtrack. And the original Fantasy Zone on Master System certainly did a job of translating the arcade music to Master System. It's very shrieky and shrill. It is still those songs, and I definitely have a nostalgia for it. Right, I didn't have a Master System as a kid. I had a neighbor and an uncle that both had Master Systems. The neighbor lived down the street from me, and my uncle was a kid toucher. He's dead now, but he had a Master System, and I loved playing Fantasy Zone 2 over there. And then eventually, I got my hands on Fantasy Zone 1, and then I think I obtained in a collection once the empty box for Fantasy Zone the Maze, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I never actually just had an opportunity to play the game. Years later, I got an EverDrive, and just never occurred to me, I should play this game now, but, whatever, here we are. So it's kind of like a cross between Fantasy Zone and Pac-Man?
Yeah.
But, like, not like Pac-Man dressed up as Fantasy Zone. It really does combine those two gameplay styles into a reasonably cohesive unit. It's an odd one. So it's in Fantasy Zone. Sorry, I was talking about the music. This game has largely the same soundtrack as the original Fantasy Zone, except way better.
Yeah, the music was like instantly awesome. Like as soon as it kicks in, you're like, "Ah, this is fucking great."
Yeah, as soon as first off, you start up the system, and you get the best startup sound, with the exception of the PlayStation. PlayStation 1 is still the best, but the Master System startup sequence is one of my very favorite things ever.
It's pretty great.
It's perfect. It's so perfect for what it is. But as soon as it starts, and like it's playing the not Pastaria, whatever the first area in the first Fantasy Zone is, it's playing that music, Master System flavored, but so much better than what was in the original one. Like, not even close. And I was like, oh, this is delightful. I wish that I just sat there on the title screen and listened to it for a little bit. And then I started the game, and it continued when I picked that stage. It's like, oh, this is fantastic. I love this. And then I continued going through the game.
Did you say it exactly like that, too?
I did.
To no one in particular? Yeah.
Tears in my eyes. Yes, delightful music in this bizarre little game. And that was the first thing that hit me, was just how good the music was. Especially as opposed to the previous Master System. Well, not the previous, because the music in Fantasy Zone 2 was a pretty decent step up, too, over the first one.
Yeah, but Master System music is really, really hit or miss.
It is.
Some of it is
because the instrumentation
is incredible, and
yeah, some of it's very good, but the system itself produces
awful.
Such shrill sounds that if you don't do it right, it's tough.
Yeah,
but usually if the melody's good enough, then you can get by. So, anyways, Fantasy Zone the Maze. It incorporates if you've never played Fantasy Zone before, it's like a side-scrolling cute 'em up. It's very hard, and but it's side-scrolling, and you have control over the screen. It's not it is auto-scrolling, but kind of not. Like, you can slow it down, speed it up, and turn around anytime you want. And basically, you have to fly around this preset area and destroy these bases that launch a bunch of enemies at you. And once you've destroyed all the bases, then you fight a boss, and there's coins everywhere, and then you move on to the next stage until you die. And you will, because Fantasy Zone is just fucking mean. It's just a really hard game.
It is a hard game. One of the cool things about as you're flying around in Fantasy Zone, and I really did like the way that they incorporated it here into the maze, is the shop. Right, so as you're flying around in Fantasy Zone, you will come across a shop every now and again where you can like upgrade the the speed of your ship or the strength of your weapons, whatever, and you do that by acquiring coins throughout the level.
Indeed, and the way that they incorporated it into this actually took me a minute to figure out kind of how that was working. So instead of the game kind of looks like Pac-Man, especially in the first stage or two. It's just a bunch of like corridors, but it's a top-down maze, and the power pellets are coins. So you fly around, you collect all these coins, and the way the shop works in this one, so there's enemies also floating around, and enemy bases, just like in Fantasy Zone, and you have to destroy those and collect all the coins. And before a stage starts, it'll be like, here are the weapons that are going to show up in this stage, in these specific spots, and they will cost X amount of money. And once you get them, then you get to use that weapon for a limited amount of time. You roll around collecting coins so that you can get better weapons, so you can better defend yourself from the various monsters that are constantly trying to kill you. And then you just try to collect all the coins and defeat all the enemies, and that's how you beat stages. And you just keep going until, again, you die, because it's a fantasy zone
that
game,
is also going to happen.
Wants to kill you. It is definitely going to happen. And I died a bunch, but I had a really good time. I didn't beat the game, mostly because I couldn't. Not for lack of trying. I did put a decent couple of play sessions into this. I loaded it onto my Master EverDrive, played it on an original Master System with an original Master System controller for about 5 minutes before I switched over to a Genesis controller, because I've never liked
fuck this noise.
Yeah, the D-pad on the Master System controller D-pad is an odd duck, and I just like the Genesis controller better, and it works perfectly on a Master System, so that's what I did. And boy, this was just a real, I can't say a pleasant surprise, because it's a Fantasy Zone game. This series has a pretty high pedigree, with the exception of like some really odd ports on various other platforms. But especially ones appearing on Sega platforms are typically very good games, and this is no exception. It's just really different from the other Fantasy Zone games, but in a really interesting way. And God, I wish they'd make a modern Fantasy Zone. When was the last time they made a Fantasy Zone game?
I think this might have been the last that got released in the States anyway.
I don't know. Super Fantasy Zone was on Genesis, but that might not have gotten released in the States until the Sega Genesis Mini. Let's take a look at the Fantasy Zone series. List of games in the Fantasy Zone series. Yeah, that's not helpful. So what about you? You have any other thoughts on this while I'm looking this nonsense
So
up?
One of the things I thought was really cool about it that I quite liked was the kind of the subversion of like your expectations, right? Because when you boot up the game, you're given the choice of any of the 7 worlds that you can go to. You definitely should not go to the ones at the end of the list first, because they're way harder than the ones at the beginning, right? And you kind of figure that out by getting killed a lot. So as you start that first level or two, they do a good job of kind of introducing that this is, like a more offensive-oriented Pac-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a level shows up where you're still doing the maze gameplay, but now there are no walls keeping you in, right? It's just a big open field, and now all of a sudden you've got enemies that you can no longer predict which way they're going to move. Right, which I thought was...
Because they can go anywhere. It's like fighting... It reminded me a lot of fighting the Dark Nuts in the original Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, right? Like... Just it was pretty wild. I also really liked the fucking coins would get smaller. So like as the level starts, there are some very big coins on screen, and the longer you take to get through the level, they're not timed, but the longer you take to get through the level, a certain amount of coins will start to shrink. And, so they'll be worth less and less, so that you can then, naturally, you can afford less offensive upgrades, or I guess the wings that you can get would be considered a defensive upgrade, but really doesn't matter, right? Upgrades to your ship, you can afford less and less of them as you are taking longer and longer to complete the level. And there's also a penalty if you take, I think, longer than a minute per level. You don't get any of the bonuses at the end. So the game really kind of forces you to be offensive in a genre that is typically a defensive-minded playstyle. Right? Like, you don't usually go into Pac-Man with the idea of, like, I can't wait to fuck up some ghosts. Like, that's not, obviously you get the power pellet and then you go on the offensive quickly, but it's just much more of a defensive game. And I thought that kind of subverting of the expectation was really clever. I thought some of the color palette was a bit like, whoa, fuck. And I think that's one of our listeners said that too. But that's Fantasy Zone, right? Like,
yeah, like it is brightly colored. It's garish, especially right? on Master System.
Yeah, it is garish, but I liked the way it looked. I liked the way it sounded. I was not playing it on Master System. I was using my which one is this that I have down here? The 8-bit Do Pro 2, which you would think, this is my favorite controller that I own. I love this controller. You would think I would know the name of it. But the 8-bit Do Pro 2, that looks like an SNES pad with the thumbsticks and then the elongated hand grips. And it just controlled beautifully, like super responsive. I didn't get all the way through it. I don't think it's that because I couldn't. I had other shit going on this week, as I'll talk about later when we get to the checkpoint. That really ate up a large chunk of my time this week. But I think if I had played this as a kid, I would have played this nonstop. Like, this is the type of thing where I would have jumped in and been like, all right, one more light, one more go round. I can do this. I can do this, right? It kind of has that sort of addictive repeatability. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't say that I was really surprised, but also, it was just a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
All right, so this is interesting. While you were talking, I was doing a little research on the Fantasy Zone series, and Super Fantasy Zone was indeed the most recent original Fantasy Zone game, and that has a much more interesting history than I thought it did. Because this came out in it originally came out in 1992, only in Japan, and it was developed by Sunsoft, not by Sega. So it was a Super Fantasy Zone. It was a Genesis version of Fantasy Zone, developed by Sunsoft for the Mega Drive. And that was 92. Then it was released on Wii Virtual Console in 2008. Was the first time that it was released outside of Japan, as far as I can tell. No, it hit Europe in 93. All right, so it was in Japan and Europe, but never came to North America until 2008 on the Wii Virtual Console. And that's a really good game. I played that when it came out on Virtual Console and had a ball with it. It's very good. And then they did the 3D Fantasy Zone games on 3DS. Those were excellent, including the 3D Fantasy Zone 2, which is... what's the history on that one? So Fantasy Zone 2 was originally only a Master System game, and then M2, I think it was M2, developed a version of the game. All right, it was this. Okay. On September 11, 2008, Sega released a remake of Fantasy Zone 2 as part of the compilation Sega Asia's Volume 33 Fantasy Zone Complete Collection. Developed by M2, the game is unique from most remakes in that it is not an attempt to modernize an older work, but rather a ground-up reimagining of the title as an arcade game on System 16 hardware like its predecessor, rather than a console title for the more limited Master System. It had been described as a what-if remake and strictly adheres to the technical limitations of the time in which Fantasy Zone 2 was originally released.
Huh.
It's really cool, because I played the crap out of Fantasy Zone 2 on Master System, and playing this, like, non-existent, but totally accurate arcade version of Fantasy Zone 2 was a trip, especially hearing the music done up, like, because Fantasy Zone 2 has a really cool soundtrack. The way it's supposed to be? Yeah. But again, who can say if it's the way it's supposed to be? Like, it's just they even reimagined the soundtrack to not just sound like it was coming out of a System 16 board, but to also... So, like, when you hear the Fantasy Zone music on Master System, and then you listen to the arcade song that it's music that it's based on, the arcade one has, that very thick System 16, like the Genesis kind of sounding bass line. Usually has more drums. It's very upbeat, very active. And the Master System version is pared down a whole lot with this very, like, kind of drums that are in so many Master System things. The music of Fantasy Zone 2 being translated to that style, they did an incredible job of reimagining that music as if the original version of the music were a downgraded version of this non-existent. It's such a mindfuck even just trying to describe it, but it's really good. Anyway, make a new Fantasy Zone, gosh dang it. What the heck?
Well, I mean, if you guys would stop yelling at them for using AI, maybe they would.
Well, don't do it that way. Don't make an AI Fantasy Zone. Ugh, see, now I want to listen to the music of Fantasy Zone 2, the remake. They did a 3D Classics version of it on 3DS too, which was quite good because all those 3D Classic things were quite good.
Yeah.
Anywho's, I guess I don't really have a whole ton else to say about it other than, boy, that was a good time.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to it's not something that I'm going to run back to finish, but
I'm not going to look.
I'm not
actually
sad that I spent time with it.
Who can say if I'll ever actually be able to properly finish it? But if I'm ever playing Master System, this is going to be one of my go-to games now to put a little bit of time in and have a little hoot with it because it's a darn good game.
Yeah,
let's see what the listeners think. Sorry, I just put on the soundtrack to the System 16 version of Fantasy Zone 2 to listen to, and it's
okay. I forgive you.
Let's see, where are we at? Alphabet Soup or Series? Oh boy, we've got a little conversation going on here. All right, so let's go back. Talk about the Analog Pocket. Where does this actually start? We're talking about Fisher-Price games when everyone was trying to guess what my game was going to be. All right. This is Peach Mc28 talking about Earthbound. All right, here it is. So as soon as I posted about it, Rumblemans posted the obligatory Jeremy Parrish video. Jeremy Parrish does an excellent video on everything, ever. But also the Fantasy Zone, the base episode of Sega Master System Works, Segaiden was quite good. Rumbleman said he played it a bit yesterday. I'll write up a review, enjoying it so far. Then Peach Mc28 started the controller conversation. He said exactly one of these controllers has been usable. I suspect this game all but requires a keyboard or a very good D-pad to feel responsive. And he posted a picture of an original Genesis 3-button controller, one of these Genesis Big 6 controllers, the Sega Master System control stick, and a regular Master System controller. And he said, it's the control stick. It's the only one that lets me go in the direction I want 95% of the time. Which I found interesting, because I can honestly say that while I used my regular Master System controller, it wasn't that bad. But, the Genesis controller, I can't say I really felt any problems per se. I always use my Genesis 6-button Master System. As I wrote in here, my actual Master System controllers barely function, and that is true. They don't function all that great, but even then, didn't feel that bad. But yeah, the Genesis controller was the right thing to do. We talked about controllers, and then Peach Mc28 jumped in with his proper thoughts. Okay, so I think this game is almost great. It's pretty good. And if I had it as a kid, I probably would have gotten a lot of mileage out of it. But every time I booted it up, I tended to notice I was pushing myself to go a little further rather than wanting to get a little further. I think perhaps it's a combination of a bunch of little things. Each individual level isn't too tough, and perhaps there's a particular strategy one should use and isn't hard to figure out, so you don't, say, get trapped and lose a bunch of lives because you picked left at the start when you really should have gone up. But now all my lives are gone, and I won't remember exactly what I needed to do there by the time I get back. Sure, I could just start at that planet again, but more often than not, I felt I didn't have the money I needed to buy a weapon I had to get to not get swarmed and lose 2 or 3 lives, setting me up for a quick failure. Speaking of which, why couldn't we get a weapon duration indicator? Oh, that's a great question. I've always wanted
that would have been
those.
nice.
At least with that top power upgrade, the music changes so you know exactly how much time you have. Other than those quibbles, I felt the rest of the game was good. Different money values for the coins to incentivize certain paths, with time being important in more than one way, and both those ways related to earning money. The enemies are varied as heck, and their names are wild. I mean, Asworm, Mokoklan, and Shatbu. Is Shatbu what happens when you fart but get a surprise instead? And then he posted a picture of the instruction manual. All in all, I'm glad to pick this up. This is a fantastic addition to my Master System collection.
Agreed. Geardo 211 then follows that up. Being a staunch Nintendo house during the console wars, my experience with the Master System is non-existent. It was the black and red system with the weird grid box games and the zapper that looked like the laser tag pistol. Yes, it did. So, shmemulation it is. I like Fantasy Zone. I only had 1 and 2, so after acquiring it, to my surprise, it's the unholy love child of Fantasy Zone and Pac-Man, and yet it works. Definitely an RTFM game to figure out what's going on. Colors are a bit garish. Yeah, sorry, Gyardo, I stole it from you. But I think that's on par for the Master System. Is the hit detection a bit wonky? Sometimes if I tried to point blank an enemy, they'd still crash into me. I'm not sure if they take multiple hits or not, so it's probably a skill issue. I've only made it through 3 worlds so far. Definitely a fun, if strange, little game. I don't think I like it more than normal Fantasy Zone, though. And I think I would definitely agree with that, right? Like, I liked this. I don't like this more than Fantasy Zone, I don't think. But it's also been a long time since I've put any serious thought into Fantasy Zone, either 1 or 2.
I definitely don't like it as much as, original Recipe Fantasy Zone, but that's not to say that I didn't enjoy the heck out of it. I just really love Fantasy Zone. This is a really cool spin on Fantasy Zone, and I'm very glad it exists. Let's see, Rumbleman says, Fantasy Zone The Maze is a fun little take on Pac-Man that I hope people spend a bit of time with. I had this game growing up, but I don't think I fully understood how it worked until I played it for the Super Series. The game is fairly straightforward on the surface. Fly around, kill the enemies, pick up all the coins, and grab power-ups to try to do it quickly. However, there's quite a bit more here, since the faster you clear the level, the more money you get, but you'll also want to save money for the later levels. I found balancing spending my money on power-ups to clear fast with saving for the harder later levels a fun challenge. I enjoyed the very Sega Master System style music, the colorful visuals. Fantasy Zone The Maze is a great little pick-up-and-play game, and a really fun evolution of the Pac-Man formula. Well said, Rumblemans. I couldn't agree more. So, I guess let's give this our ratings. Let's jump in to the rating system. Super Series. There it is. I found my spreadsheet. So, Fantasy Zone.
Fantasy Zone, the zone.
The zone.
We're in the Pizzone zone.
In the bone zone. All right, so graphics. How are you feeling about this game's graphics? That's a tough one.
It is, because I like everything that's there. Like it animates well. Like all of the enemies look interesting and different and varied. I like the kind of the little backgrounds of the different worlds that you fly through before you start each stage. Like I like the way everything looks, but it is very, very bright. So I don't think I can go higher than a 3. I don't think.
I went with a 3.5, and even that I thought was being a little generous, because I don't know how to do it better, but this isn't it. They did a good job of like shrinking down all the various enemies from Fantasy Zone to fit them into the gameplay that they wanted to make, but what they have created here isn't super aesthetically pleasing. Like, the mazes are superimposed over traditional stages, and it doesn't, like, if you just look at a screenshot of this, there's nothing impressive happening here. I don't know how they could have done this better, other than maybe trying to make the stages look like something other than dots on black. Maybe trying to make the stages themselves look like the worlds of Fantasy Zone, but from a top-down perspective.
If the black was a little bit like translucent, so you could see some of that background poking through, maybe might look a little better. But
yeah, it's just something. It looks, considering how late into the Master System's life this game came out, I just think the visuals themselves are a bit rudimentary. See, I am actually going to lower that down to a 3, because while I think they did an admirable job at doing what they were aiming for, I don't think what they were aiming for... I think they needed to rethink what they were aiming for with this game's visuals, because I just don't think I don't think it's a very attractive game.
Yeah.
All right, sound. Do you go first? Sound, what are you thinking?
So, sound, 4.
That's exactly where I put it, 4. It is still a Master System game, so sound is always going to be a rough challenge. But
what's there sounds
it
good.
Sounds really good. Like, really good. I really enjoy it. If I had to choose, like, which versions of these songs to listen to on a home console port, I would probably still choose the Sunsoft version of the NES port of Fantasy Zone. It still sounds better to my ears than the either the Master System ones or these versions of the songs, but these are a huge improvement over the first Master System game, and it's really good music. It sounds good.
Yeah.
What of Control, sir?
Control, so again, I was playing on the Pro 2. I really didn't have much issue with the control. It kind of did, what you wanted it to do, but I don't know, 4?
Again,
I'm
right there with
I think
you.
it could have
4 is
felt
exactly what I put.
A little tighter, maybe? I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, there was there was something about it that left a little bit to be desired. Like, even with my Genesis controller, I would occasionally get turns that weren't quite right. There's like hitboxes seem a little off.
It felt a little
sometimes.
smushy. I don't know. That
I think I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, it's not quite there. It's not bad by any stretch, but not quite out of the park.
Yeah, but if you think of games that get a 5 for Control, things that are impeccable, right?
This is not that.
This does not feel like, and I mean, it's such a different animal, but I think you would say something like Super Mario Brothers 3 is a 5 on Control. Something like that. There's a little something that's not quite nailing it.
And fun factor?
4. I had fun.
Same. 4.
Yeah.
I had fun. It didn't blow my mind, but I was smiling. I was smiling ear to ear when I was playing this for the most part. I really enjoyed just sitting there, booting up the old Master System and playing this. This was a solid 4 out of 5 in the fun department. Good stuff.
All right. So that gives me an overall rating of 15 for Fantasy Zone The Maz.
Same here, which I believe we both rated them the same in all categories. So
yeah, that never happens.
It is currently in 3rd place for me.
It is. Let's see. 3rd place for me as well. I still have Alien Soldier at the top, and Earthbound in 2nd place.
I have Alien Soldier at the top, Earthbound in 2nd place, and then Fantasy Zone, followed by just by half a point, Burning Rangers.
Yep, I have Burning Rangers, then Codename Viper, and then King of Swing, because boy, do I know.
Oh, right, that was King of Swing, not Jungle Climber. I wrote Jungle Climber on my spreadsheet. Yeah, that game was left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it really did.
Looked and sounded great, and then Control and Fun Factor, I gave it a 1.
Yeah, just wasn't fun. Wasn't fun.
That's brutal. All right, well, with that, I think it's time for us to take our first break.
Whoa!
Right, you gotta pick a game. You gotta pick a game. I'm sorry.
I mean, I've picked 2 games, and here's where my dilemma is. The game that I want to go with is one that I'm not sure if we've done before. I know we've talked about it before, but I don't remember if we've ever done it on one of these little series things. So if we have, I do have a backup. But I would like for us to stay on the Sega Master System, and I would like for us to play Golden Axe Warrior.
Ooh, I think... Oh, boy. Was this a Mania game or a old Super Series?
I know that you and I talked about it when we did our top 10 Master System games in a list that we wrote forever ago for Geekade. And I thought maybe we had done it for a Super Series or a Summer Series or a whatever the fuck. And I went back and looked through the site. And by look through the site, I mean I used the search bar. And the only thing that came up was when we wrote about it in our top 10 list. So I don't think we've actually played it.
I think we did play it for the original Super Series. The problem is that we don't name our episodes anything of value.
No, we don't.
So you can't really search for specific topics in the old episodes of the podcast very well. But I agree. I think we should play it.
It would have pulled it up if it were in any of the notes about the episode, which I would have to imagine it would have been, right? Because it pulled it up in the search result.
Time where I wasn't doing show notes very well, so
fair. Well, so I will. I could leave it up to you. We could put it up to the listener vote, because my other pick is the Taxan G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero for NES.
I mean, I think we should do Golden Axe Warrior. Because if we did do it, it's been so long that I don't remember talking about it at all.
All right. Golden Axe Warrior it is, staying with the Master System in a shameless fucking Zelda clone.
It's like hilarious how shameless this is as far as like base. I think somebody recently modded this game to be The Legend of Zelda on Master System by like just putting a link sprite in it. So.
I mean, that's super fun, and if I can find that version, I will definitely play that version as well. I quite like this game and have not played it in so long. Yeah. I feel good about this choice.
I think it's a great choice. Color me excited.
Excellent.
And with that, we're going to take ourselves a break. When we come back, we're going to catch up, check in with week old news. Talk about stuff that's happened in the last couple of weeks, because we didn't do week old news last week. You are listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore, because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. Anyway, we're back. We've just talked about baseball for like a while.
Yeah. That's all bonus content.
Yeah, it's all bonus content. We'll see what Evan does with it. Guys, I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be on vacation, so I don't know. don't know where this. I don't know when it's getting put on Patreon. I don't know what's happening. It's going to be.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's not up to you.
I am off. I'm not dealing with any of that. But what I am going to deal with is my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we discuss all the news that was new a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago in this situation, although I don't think there was a lot from 2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah.
There wasn't a ton this week either. Like, this is...
Yeah, it was...
For a 2-week list, it's pretty small.
Yeah. Size doesn't matter, Dan.
It does, though. At a certain point, it does. I'm sorry.
You should be. All right. Start us off with the good news, Dan.
Oh, God. Rock, Paper, Shotgun, and literally everyone else reports that EA have gone private as Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner's investment groups complete their $55 billion acquisition. The deal was announced last September, and the relationship was consummated on August 4th. And it's fucking gross. I hate it. Direct quote from Mr. Kushner himself says, EA has created stories, characters, and communities that have become part of everyday life for hundreds of millions of people. We're excited to support the company as it continues to reach new audiences, inspire the next generation of creators, and expand the ways people around the world connect through play. And it's like,
he means
I've heard Jared Kushner talk.
None of that.
He absolutely did not say that. And also, that's not EA.
Anymore. He didn't mean any of that.
No.
All this is just... No. Soul is for profit. That's all this is. And I feel... Not that EA was exactly my favorite game company to begin with. This hasn't really changed the amount of EA games that I will or won't be buying at all. Because
no.
It's none.
But
they just don't make games that I'm interested in, except Star Wars, and even then, I kind of stopped and enjoy. Like, I just don't like them enough to keep buying them anyway. So
it is just a shame when you remember what EA was.
Pioneers.
They were. There's a reason they became one of the biggest game companies in the world. And they were great for a long time. They put out interesting titles, and they took chances, and they made cool things, and they did do those things that Kushner talked about. They built communities, and I mean, as much as I haven't played Madden seriously other than like 2 years ago, and I don't know why that one stuck with me. I was just bored of playing the show, I guess, and switched to Madden for a year. And this year I haven't played either of them. But, like, Madden, they grew that into this massive thing. And, like, yes, fuck exclusivity and all of that. But for a while, Madden was still great. And now everything EA does is just kind of a shell of what that company used to be. You know? Def Jam Vendetta. It's a fucking EA game. That's wild to think. Mass Effect. Mass Effect. All the BioWare shit. Like... Anyway.
Continuing off of that bundle of joy. Yeah. The bring more warm fuzzies to your cold pricklies. Push Square reports EA Studios brace for layoff bloodbath as new owner debt demands $700 million cost cuts. Where have we seen this before? Oh, right, the Activision buyout that they said wasn't going to result in any sort of, layoffs, and then it did. Because
of course it did.
We live in. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. So, Dan, why don't you talk about the next story that's sure to bring joy to all of our hearts?
Nintendo Life reports that Netflix shuts down Oxenfree developer Night School Studio. We see an
I didn't even know
opportunity.
they owned that.
We see an opportunity to be more focused in our execution. Yeah.
Speaking of execution and things that are not depressing, so the guy that's currently pitching for the Blue Jays, I've never seen anybody pitch like that before.
Oh, the sidearm, the dippy down sidearm?
Yeah, it's like it's almost like bowling. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
When these guys were playing the Phillies the other night, Karen and I were watching it, just like, what the hell? Like, sidearm is weird enough, but like you see it. This guy's like, he's turning upside down to throw the ball. I don't understand the math behind it.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it works all that well.
Baseball, one of the things that I love about it so much is that when you watch a baseball game, and if you watch a lot of baseball games throughout the course of a season, you will see hundreds of different ways to accomplish the same thing. Like, pitchers have different windups and different deliveries, batters have different stances, fielders have different throwing motions, and at the end of the day, you're still trying to get the ball over the plate, or you're trying to use a cylinder to hit a circle squarely, right? Like, and it just makes baseball so fucking weird and odd and interesting, whereas, like, you look at football, and for the most part, most dudes throw the same. Like, I know there's slight little differences in arm angle and those sorts of things, but the way you throw a football is the way you throw a football.
I want to start seeing football players throw like this guy. Can you imagine?
I mean, I've seen sidearm football players and the sidearm quarterbacks. They don't do very well. Because, you know, you've got 6'7", 450-pound fucking monsters trying to kill you on literally every play, and you're like, oh, let me just dipsy doodle over here. Like, that doesn't fucking work.
Man.
But in baseball, It does. It's so weird. Yeah, anyway.
Oxenfree, I heard, was a really cool game, and I didn't know Netflix owned that studio, and it's a real bummer that they don't exist anymore. Anyway, let's move on to some actually...
Yeah.
This is cool, but still sad news. IGN reports Sam Neill to play role in Sony Pictures' Legend of Zelda movie. Deacon Lockman and Yvonne Strahovski also confirmed. They don't know what character he's going to play, but it's entirely possible that this will be his last role. Which is cool. I loved Sam Neill, and I'm really sad that he's gone. And the fact that he's in the Zelda movie is really cool, but it just made me sad that he's gone all over again. However, I also think Yvonne Strahovski is great, so that's awesome. This also came right on the heels of them casting Ganondorf, and it's some dude I'd never seen before, but you know, he's big and brown, so you've got that.
Yeah, no, that works.
To be Ganondorf, so that works. Thumbs up. Boy, I'm so curious what this movie is going to be.
So we just got done with House of the Dragon Season 3. And the kid who's playing Link, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, is playing Link. He was also Prince Daeron Targaryen in House of the Dragon Season 3. And I don't know if it was what they gave him to do in House of the Dragon Season 3, but I was fucking bored by every performance of his on screen. I just was not at all impressed with him. And as soon as I realized that it was the same kid, I was like, well, fuck, I'm a lot less excited for this Zelda movie now, because boy, did I not think he did a good job. And again, maybe that is up to, you know, he wasn't given much.
Maybe his dialogue in this Zelda movie is just going to be, yeah.
Even that, I don't know that he could do it well. He was pretty fucking wooden, man. And like the last time I got excited about a pop culture property using an actor from Game of Thrones, it was...
don't say X-Men Apocalypse.
No, it was Finn Jones as Danny Rand, and it's not good.
That didn't pan out too great.
No.
I mean, Sansa as Jean Grey didn't pan out all that great either, so...
Nope. I did like Arya Stark. I liked her actress in the New Mutants movie. I thought that movie was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's alright.
For the 18 seconds that Jon Snow was on screen in Eternals, I thought he was fine.
I really enjoyed it. I'm actually in the slow process of rewatching Eternals right now, and I really liked that movie. That's a solid flick.
Yeah, it's fine.
And also, Millie Alcock as Supergirl was great.
Yeah, she was great. Yeah. House of the Dragon Season 3 was such a weird fight. You don't watch, right? You're not a House of the Dragon guy?
I gave up after Season 1. It was alright, but the thing about Game of Thrones that I liked, well, like, yeah, everyone's a piece of shit in Game of Thrones, but there was, like, some people to root for. And in Season 1 of House of the Dragon, it's like, no, everyone's terrible. I don't want to root. I want them all dead. I want no one to win. Everyone sucks.
Well, that's kind of the interesting part of House of the Dragon is that we know they all lose. Like, we know the Targaryens lose King's Landing, right? Like, there is not a Targaryen sitting the throne at the start of Game of Thrones. It is a Baratheon, right? So, like, we know that eventually their house kind of falls apart. And the interesting thing in the show, I think, what they're going for is how a person who seemingly wants to be good and wants to do the good thing, the right thing, which is Rhaenyra, trying to fulfill her father's wish as the, she is obviously not the prince who was promised. We know that it's Jon Snow, but she didn't know that. So kind of watching her character who's trying to do the right thing, trying to be good, how she can be manipulated by outside forces and turned to evil and all of that. That's kind of the interesting part of the show. But like with each season only being 8 episodes, especially the way season 2 ended, like the first episode of season 3 should have been the conclusion to season 2. And the fact that you had to wait 2 years, like it was just a very odd season.
Short seasons are really pissing me off with TV right now. We just recorded this week's episode last night with Evan. We were talking about X-Men 97, and
I've only watched the first half. Look, like, I know Gambit comes back, but Gambit's not back yet. Sorry, spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, well, the only thing I'll say is it just wasn't enough season. 8 episodes isn't enough. And there were just things went by. They covered things too quickly because there's just not enough episodes. It's a fucking cartoon. Why are you? It's a fucking rushing? Cartoon that was a smashing success. Why are you cutting corners on this? I don't understand what. They used to have 13 episode seasons of X-Men. Like, that was the norm. Yeah. Why are we cutting it down so much? Why are we cutting all TV seasons down to so few episodes? Like, I'm not. I mean, like, I know there were definitely we have had the opposite problem in the past. That is definitely, I will cop to that without a doubt. We've had the opposite problem where it's been like, this season was like 2 episodes too long. It didn't need to be this long.
Why is this season of Lost still fucking happening? Jesus Christ.
Now we have the opposite problem, and it's really bothersome.
Yeah, I feel like 13 really is kind of that sweet spot,
It is.
Like it was super noticeable in the Shudigatwa episode or seasons of Doctor Who. of like cutting that down to 8 episodes was just not enough.
No,
I mean, and I didn't.
The problems with those seasons were legion.
Yeah,
but
8 episodes did not help.
Certainly didn't.
Yeah, I saw an interesting theory that whoever starts the next Doctor Who, they're just going to recast David Tennant and just continue to tell more 10th Doctor stories, and they'll figure out the rest of it eventually. Like, no, we're just going to tell more stories of when he was the Doctor. And it's like, yeah, all right, I'm fine with that.
We don't need to make him another Doctor. That was so fucking silly. Like, we're just...
The bi-generation thing?
Bi-generation thing. And
it was real dumb.
Just... why? Like, I get it. You really wanted to have David Tennant back to get them ratings, but there are more important things in the world. You just gotta be able to rely on your storytelling.
I do have the solution to fixing the Doctor Who problem, though.
What's that?
Just don't fucking mention it. We know that the Doctor regenerates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, after all the Timeless Child shit and all of that, it is unlimited regenerations, right? I think.
Maybe, I don't know. The lore got real fucked during Jodie Whittaker's seasons.
Yeah.
Like, the lore got real proper fucked. And now I don't even know where we are.
So when you're sitting here and you're thinking about it of like, well, is this Billie Piper? Is Billie Piper going to be the next Doctor? What comes after that? Blah. Just make Doctor Who. Don't fucking talk about it. Because you don't have to. You don't have to.
When what was it, Christopher Eccleston took over?
Nope. Just make Doctor Who.
Nods to it, like of him like looking at his face for a second, like to those who know. But that was about it.
That's literally all you have to do. The next Doctor doesn't have to be the 14th or the 15th. It could be, if you wanted it to be, the fucking 20th. It doesn't fucking matter. Just make a good show.
Yeah, that's really where it's at. Just make a good show.
That's it. And that I think is the thing that everybody's so hung up on is who's the next Doctor? Who's the next Doctor? Like, I don't care who the next in the fucking timeline is. I just want it to be a good actor and it to be a good show. I don't fucking care. Like, I'm a Time Lord. I'm 8,450. Don't fucking tell me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a time travel show.
When you do it periodically. Like that kind of line when he says something like that works if he doesn't say it all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, it has gravity if he only uses it like once every 5 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're so far off course here.
Yeah, I know. You're on vacation. This is vacation, Kris. There's no rails.
There's no rails, but I am still tired.
Oh, okay.
I work
time
all day.
Extension. Well, shut the fuck up then. Jesus Christ, Kris. Fucking talking about Doctor Who for no reason? Son of a bitch. I'm trying to stay on track. Be professional.
Did you see... Sorry to derail us again, but do you watch Only Murders in the Building?
Not yet. I haven't seen not even 5 seconds of that show. And I probably should, because I'm sure I would love it.
It's quite good, but in the next season...
David Tennant, Jodie Whittaker, and Peter
Capaldi.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right,
yeah, it's pretty great.
Moving on.
Anyway, thank you. If I could get back to what we were talking about. Fucking unprofessional. Time Extension reports, are you having a laugh? Commodore is reviving an iconic joystick, but there's an unfortunate catch. Added costs are putting a damper on the new product launch. Yeah. Iconic, indestructible, arcade accurate, and now a Commodore. The legendary TAC-2 joystick is officially back in production. Pre-order your Commodore TAC-2 today. The link is there in the tweet that is linked here. Boy, this is fucking ridiculous. I mean, this is just... After delivery, it's looking like this is going to be close to $100.
My God. This planet is so broken.
Who is this for? I know it's for Commodore 64 fans, but like, who's spending $100? Anyway.
Well, it's not quite as ridiculous as this next story. Time Extension reports, what in the name of copyright infringements is this madness? Intellivision Amico box showcasing Nintendo art surfaces online. Quote, we didn't design it, I swear. Okay.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I mean, if I could have gotten the Amico with fucking apparently Super Mario Galaxy, something to do with Wario, Diddy Kong Racing, and that Evel Knievel game, fuck. Tommy was onto something.
The Intellivision Amico is never coming out. This is just straight from the article. That much should be clear by now, given that the money raised by its pre-order drive has long since been spent. Controversial figurehead Tommy Tallarico has stepped away. Key executives have turned out to be vaporware. Key exclusives turned out to be vaporware, and the console can't even use the Intellivision branding anymore. I mean, let's be true. That's probably also a fact. Amazingly, some retailers still have the console listed on their websites, and one such online store has caused a healthy amount of confusion thanks to the fact that they've used an image of the Amico packaging festooned with Nintendo characters. As spotted by Super Nintendo on social media, the Game Collection, a UK-based video game store, is using an image of the Amico box which showcases Luigi, Wario, Diddy Kong, and other characters. Quote, we didn't design it, I swear, says the store's social media account. When I pressed the Game Collection on this, they said the image was distributed as an official asset. They were, however, unable to say if placing a pre-order at this stage was a result in actually getting an Amico console. A quick reverse image search later, and we stumbled across this Reddit thread. I won't dox the person, but this is from the website portfolio of a senior Intellivision employee, says Gatorooz at a post from 4 years ago. The original non-identifying image link is here. To be fair, it could be a very early prototype, but still, using others' IP seems to be a trend, from Star Fox Text to the Battle Tanks fiasco, and now this. Would it have been so hard to use some Intellivision IP for the render? I've used
They didn't have any!
Yeah, there was nothing to use. I mean, I guess Evel Knievel, but that's not even their own IP or whatever. It's just... So someone, the story seems to be, apparently somebody at Intellivision was doing a mock-up of the box and decided to use a bunch of Nintendo characters in a mock-up of the box, and I don't know why you would ever do this on a computer that was going to get out into any chance of it getting out into the wild. God, there are just so many bad decisions involving the Amico, and this is just one of the weirdest, dumbest ones I've seen.
Yep. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Love that.
It's something. Anyway.
Pushware reports, these new Xbox prices are truly terrifying for the PlayStation 6. This is just getting silly now. Sony indicated in its most recent financial report that the PS5's price should hold until at least April of 2027. I thank fucking God for that. As it's secured the memory inventory required to fulfill the hardware targets for the current fiscal year. According to reports, it had been losing $150 per console sale of late. This is now about Microsoft. Microsoft is losing a ton because they have raised their prices yet again. The Redmond firm communicated...
Zonkers.
The price increases in the U.S. It didn't announce what it is doing in Europe. New retailers have adjusted. It's worse than expected. Here are the current prices for Microsoft's 6-year-old system. The 512 gigabit Xbox Series S was $400, is now $500. The 1 terabit Series S was $450, is now $600. The 1 terabyte Series X digital was $600, is now $750. And the 1 terabyte Series X physical was $650, is now $800. It is.
It's not funny. It's just hard not to laugh because of the sheer insanity of how the numbers keep going up. Like, video games aren't for everyone anymore.
I mean, they're certainly not. That's not true. Console gaming is not for everyone.
Yeah. Console gaming is not for everyone.
You know, there are Roblox. The reason Roblox is as big as it is because it can work, not well, mind you, but it will work on relatively ancient hardware.
Yeah, just about any device you already have, Roblox can make it happen.
Yeah.
Where hope moves out, Roblox moves in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... I don't see any way that this theoretical PlayStation 6, especially if it's going to be what I think it is going to be, which is a Switch-like device with a screen and all of that, I just don't see how it's anything less than $1,000. Same thing for the next Xbox. And that would be... I think people would fucking cheer if it was $9.99. People would be like, oh, well, at least it's not a price of a Steam machine or whatever the fuck. It's out of control. Just out of control.
Yep.
Ugh.
Just like everything, it's just going to keep getting more expensive. Meanwhile, in the retro gaming scene, Time Extension reports this new suite of tools aims to make developing NES and SNES games far more intuitive. Meet Retro Game Forge, a new set of tools from the creator of NES Maker. I can't say I understand this article very much. It's a little outside of my brain space, but if the headline is to be believed, and more people can make more homebrew more easy, more gooder, then that's great, because it's really neat seeing what people are doing with old hardware. Like, we were talking to Sasha last week about the friggin' online play with N64 and Saturn and Neo Geo and stuff. Keep on keeping on there.
Time Extension reports this endeavor to save one game cost me well over $900. A missing Final Fantasy VII mobile game has just been preserved. And we are talking here about Dirge of Cerberus, or Cerberus, or Cerebrus, however the fuck you want to say it. Lost Episode. Yes. Magneto. Lost Episode is finally preserved in full. An update was posted on August 4th. It's been almost 3 years since the trial version of Dirge of Cerberus Lost Episode was recovered. It's just been an exciting new development related to the lost entry in the Final Fantasy VII subseries. Thanks to the ROM hack and feature phone preservationist UV, full game has finally been preserved, ensuring that more people can experience this missing piece of Final Fantasy history. So that is very cool. I'm sorry that it cost that dude $900. But thank you.
I don't think he regrets his life choices.
Yeah.
He seems to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And good for him for saving it for us all. Go Nintendo reports first-person shooter Wolf coming to Game Boy Color August 13th, 2026. You watch this video?
I have not, no.
It's wild. I mean, it's like... It's really, really low resolution. But it moves. It is a functional first-person shooter for the Game Boy Color. And not like wireframe. It's a... I don't know, man. This is wild. Way to go, guys. Just...
Yeah, it's pretty...
This is from the people that did... because first all we have is... Okay, Tyrannosaurus Tex. Now, we've sold Tyrannosaurus Tex on Stone Age Gamer before. That game is quite the amazing piece of work, but it didn't actually see release back in the day. Tyrannosaurus Tex wasn't good enough for the team at Rocket Ship Park, and they're currently cooking up Wolf, a brand new FPS for the Game Boy Color. Tyrannosaurus Tex. I don't think I ever really... Have I looked at Tyrannosaurus Tex before? Because, like, yeah, we've carried this in the past. And, oh, yes, I have seen this one. So, yeah, Tyrannosaurus Tex looks, like, pretty wacky for a Game Boy Color first-person shooter. I think this one's even more impressive. Because Tyrannosaurus Tex is very, like, the walls have no texture kind of a thing. It's very impressive, but I think this just goes a step further. It just looks more impressive while also looking kind of worse, but also better. It's a weird situation. I don't know why people keep deciding to make first-person shooters on Game Boy Color. Like, I'm glad they do, but I don't know I don't know what kind of person wakes up in the morning and says to themselves, you know what?
You know what I can't wait to do today?
The Game Boy Color needs more of this.
Well, pretty soon it's all we're going to have left, Kris.
That's true.
That and our next story. Go Nintendo reports fan reimagines Metroid Prime in 2D. Level 4 Games has released Metroid Prime Origins, which takes the original Metroid Prime and completely converts it to 2D. They've even gone out of their way to make all new sprites, chiptune renditions of tunes from Metroid Prime, and so much more. You can get a good look at the project above, which is the video that is really impressive looking. And I love the fact that they were smart enough to be like, hey, we're done. Here's the thing. Please don't yell at us, Nintendo.
Talk about it a bunch beforehand. Be like, hey, we're working on this thing.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo would be like, the hell you are.
It looks cool. It looks off. I can't, like, with not having played it, just watching the video, it looks...
kind of an odd art direction.
Something about it looks a little bit off, but I definitely would like to check it out. It definitely looks cool, and like, good for you, man. Because again, this is all we're going to have left.
I watched a bunch of gameplay of it, and it was really neat recognizing the rooms. Like, they did a really good job of making various rooms in Metroid Prime, like, translating them into what a 2D version would be. They did a really good job of it. Like, I remember this room. I know what this is reimagining. That's pretty cool. That's cool stuff. What else is pretty cool stuff? Go Nintendo reports Donkey Kong Land gets a fan-made remake in the style of Donkey Kong Country. This is interesting. This is something that I've wanted for a while, and I can't say I'm completely blown away by what they've done. It's pretty impressive. It just, like, I love Donkey Kong Land, and I understand that Donkey Kong Land is a flawed experience, by its very nature. They did a pretty good job of translating the levels of Donkey Kong Land into Donkey Kong Country graphics. It's just a lot of them, the new assets don't match the existing ones, right? You've got just taking the Super Nintendo assets and shaping them to be the Donkey Kong Land stages is one thing. And the same thing with Donkey Kong Country 2. But then there are the backgrounds that exist only in Donkey Kong Land that were level types that were never recreated in any of the 16-bit Donkey Kong Country games. And those really don't quite look right. They really don't. They just don't have the same level of detail or artistry as the Super Nintendo games. So it's neat. Also, I didn't love the reinterpretations of the music. I love the Donkey Kong Land soundtrack, and the way that they translated those songs into the 16-bit Donkey Kong Country instrument sets weren't quite the way that I'd do it. Which again, I'm not doing it, and I don't want to throw any shade.
No, sure.
This is a really cool project.
I can't do it. Yeah,
I can't do it. It's a really neat project, and I love Donkey Kong Land. I'd like to try it at some point, but yeah, it's not quite what I would have. It's not the way I would have done it if I had the power to. But
right,
really, who cares what I would do? This is still a really neat project, and I'm glad it exists.
Neat. Speaking of very neat, Time Extension reports that an absolute fucking psychopath turns a Fisher-Price children's toy into a functional Game Boy Color. Kuzek, I guess, is the name of the modder, who took a Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn Lil Gamer, which is 100% designed to be a Game Boy, and fucking modded it to be an actual Game Boy. It just... This motherfucker went so far as to put an original Game Boy board into the toy, wire the buttons to replace the Game Boy's buttons. This is fucking insanity.
It's like when they...
And I'm here for it.
People did that same thing with the toy controller. They turned that into a real functioning controller, which is just like, why? Why would you do that?
Lot of time and a lot of, I wonder if I could. Oh shit, I can. Son of a bitch.
Again, I'm glad they did. I love that level of insanity. I'll just real quick mention that there are new Bubsy 4D levels. That's just a story that exists. But the real story is not... Yeah,
sorry, I skipped right over it. Because I don't fucking care. Bubsy, I see Bubsy, and my brain goes, next.
But I'll talk about this last one that has nothing to do with video games. No. I just felt that it was worth talking about. IGN reports Domino's announces the Domino, its next generation pizza. And here couldn't even get through the entire headline. So they finally have a pizza called the Domino, and it's a rectangular pizza that looks like a domino. And on one hand, I'm like, this is dumb. And on the other hand, I'm like, how did it take this long for you to make a rectangular pizza that looked like a domino?
It's a good question. I mean, I hate it.
It's supposedly billed as like a single serving pizza, kind of like Domino's answer to the, the personal pan pizza, I guess, at Pizza Hut. But
it's just not pizza.
No, it's
and they
not.
Should stop calling it that.
Yeah. So they're opening a Papa John's down the street from me.
Ugh.
Yeah. And what I think I'd like to do at some point in the not too distant future is get a bunch of people together and spend the day visiting every pizza place within walking distance of my house. And that would include a Papa John's, a Domino's, and a Pizza Hut, as well as Joe and John's, Calabria, Roman's Pizza House, and I think maybe one more.
I mean, that's a lot of pizza, but I'm in.
It's a lot of pizza, right? But it's like, so it's over the course of a day, you would have to order a pie, right? Because, some places you can't just go to Domino's and get a slice because they don't really do it that way. So we would go to all of these pizza places over the course of the day, which means we were all eating at least 6, maybe 7 slices of pizza, maybe to 8, depending on how many other pizza places are within walking distance. Because over
the course of a day, that's not.
That's really.
That's not
bad.
great.
Yeah.
But
no, it's not going to be good
terrible
for anybody. But I feel like it would be an interesting experiment to find out, like, all right, well, what do we really like? What really are the best pizzas that we all enjoy of all the ones that you can walk to from my house? And it is crazy to me that there are at least 6 pizza places that you can walk to from my house, and not like this is a bit of a hike. Like,
what are you calling walking distance? Within how much?
10-15 minutes.
A mile?
Yeah, probably about a mile, maybe a little bit more. At most. Like, I mean, all right, so Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's probably about 12 minutes of a walk from my house, maybe.
Okay.
That might be the farthest. I don't know. Maybe the Papa John's is about equidistant, but it is in the complete opposite direction. I mean, if we were biking, that's a horse of a different color entirely.
Oh, well then, yeah.
But even then, I think within walking distance, I think with a 15-minute walk counts as within walking distance. And I'm pretty sure any of those you could easily get to within 15 minutes.
Trying to see, how can I sort on Google Maps or some map app or a web, like, I just want to know distance to me. Well, the Yankees just lost. Fuck. That sucks.
Oh, wow, it's the 9th inning. I didn't even realize the game was over.
Oh, yeah, it is. Fuck.
All right. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Calabria, coming soon, Papa John's. Yeah, see, those ones are too far away.
I want to sort by distance.
Raffici's. I forgot. Raffici's is right there.
Let me fucking sort by distance. Why won't you? Why? Why can I not do that?
You're really going to put Sacco Subs doesn't have pizza. What are we talking about? But where's... Yeah. Domino's, Pizza Hut, Calabria, Pizza de Roma. That's all the way out in Pleasantville. That's not... Where's Romans?
That's way too far.
Yeah, that's way too far from where I am.
I'm not fucking walking to Pleasantville.
Yeah, that's insane. Anyway, I think that sounds like a really good time.
I'm into it.
I wonder why Romans doesn't show up on here. Oh, there it is. Romans, Pizza de Roma, and that seems too far. That is... So let's see. From my house... This is great.
Why are we doing this?
Right here.
I mean, I'm not against it. This is very inside baseball.
Yeah. All right, so from my house, what is the distance from my house to... like, that's what I want to know. What is the actual distance to, let's say, Pizza Hut? Oh, that's hilarious. So, I just highlighted... on Google Maps, the Pizza Hut, and it says it's a 50-minute walk. And I'm like, why? And then I looked at the directions, and it has me walking, if you wanted to walk to Pizza Hut, this, like, huge rectangle of, like, it turns into a 2.5-mile walk. It's like, but it's right there. I walk the dog past there all the time. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's weird. Don't do that.
That is weird. Okay, but then, like, so if we were going to Lola's... And that's right where the Raffici's and stuff. Yeah, Raffici's definitely has pizza, so that's another one we got to add to the list. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a little bit more than a mile. It says it's a 20-minute walk. I think you could get there in 15.
All right, I'm in.
We'll figure it out. We're going to figure this out. We're going to make this happen. We're going to do a pizza day. But that's a conversation for another time. That wraps things up for Week Old News. This is one of the dumbest episodes of this podcast we've ever done.
It's pretty fucking stupid, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty dumb. Anyway,
we're going to take ourselves another break. When we come back, we're going to check in with the checkpoint. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. Everybody, we are back. We have returned to talk more about pizza. So local
pizza.
I'm really into this idea. That's going to be a fun, stupid day. I'm looking forward to it. I got to actually make that plan happen.
I like fun and stupid.
Yeah. It's time for us to check in with the checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
This is where Dan and I talk about the various games that we've played, things that we've done. Do you want to go first, or should I?
Yeah, I mean, so I did not play a ton this week. I did play through Project Neon. We interviewed Sasha last week. He was generous enough to send codes out to a bunch of us, which was very, very cool of him. I played through it on my Mac. And I loved it. It's very hard. I'm sure he could do it on like a 1 credit clear because, you know, it's his game. I could not. I think I said to you, Kris, when we were talking, I think it's right about Ikaruga hard. Maybe a little easier than Ikaruga, but not by much. I also haven't played an intense shmup in a long time. That being said, I do think it was very, very good. I haven't written my official review yet. I'm going to do that over the weekend for ZTGD. Throw that up on there. But I was very, very happy with it. I also spent some time this week with Jellies. Tiff really loves it. She bought the full version.
As did I.
She just super into it. She had been playing this Harry Potter game for the last 4 years, 5 years, something like that, like a match 3 Harry Potter game, and there's like all of these, and it Harry Potter, as problematic as it is, she really likes the match 3 like puzzle style games. She was ranked number 1 in the world in this game for a little bit, and she took a break for 2 days. And the people, because like they're all in like teams or houses or whatever the fuck, and she's been playing consistently, hasn't missed a login day in like 5 years, and she took a break for 2 days and they kicked her out of her club. Out of her guild or whatever the fuck, and she was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. That was super fucked up. You know, and she was all upset. So I was like, why don't you check out this Jellies game? it's made by this dude, and everybody really likes his games. And she was like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I was looking for. So she spent a lot of time with that this week, and then I started playing it as well. The two main things that I've been doing, though, well, three and a lizard. One, I decided that I was going to read Don Quixote. I know I haven't talked about books in a little while, and I was going at a really good clip there for quite a bit, and like just book after book. And then I started reading Don Quixote, and boy, is that a fucking beast of a book, man. Stupid question. You've never read Don Quixote, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I have tried to read Don Quixote multiple times. The version that I have, the unabridged translated version of Don Quixote that I have, is 1,072 pages. And I have been just plugging away at this book. I started it on July 6th, and I think, God, I'm more than halfway through, but I got to a part recently in the book where I was like, I fucking don't want to do this anymore. Like, I was really enjoying everything up to this one particular part. And then it got to a section of the book with a bunch of characters that just didn't care for, and it has been just a fucking slog to get through that. So that is like really slowed me down, but I've really like I rededicated myself to it this week. I also bought because I'm that old now, I went to the store and I bought readers so I could put my little magnifying glasses on when I read, because I'm that old now. Because I was at a Barnes and Noble, and I was like, I might pick up. I don't know if you've seen them, Kris. DC Comics puts out the DC Direct, I think it's called, and they are $10. Doesn't matter the page count, but they are $10 versions of their graphic novels. And they've got a bunch of different shit. They've got Batman Court of the Owls. They've got, a bunch of Superman stories. Red Sun, Birthright, the fucking Frank Quietly, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. They've got all these different books. And I was like, I haven't read the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow story that the movie was based on in a long time. Maybe I'll pick this up. It's only $10, so I pick it up in Barnes and Noble. I couldn't fucking read it. I just fuck. All right, I guess let me try some readers, and I bought some readers. I was like, fuck, man, this is so much better. So now I'm gonna go back and buy that at some point, but I'm that old. So I bought some readers, and I've been reading Don Quixote this week. I also have spent a decent amount of time in my attic this week. And you might be asking yourself, why would anyone on the East Coast of the United States
choose this time of year?
Choose this fucking hellacious time of year to be in their attic? And to that I would reply, I cannot start my office expansion out into the garage. Like, really with construction and whatnot. I've been packing things away. I've been planning, diagramming like what the structure is going to look like once it's all done. Been working on all that stuff. But actually physically doing the construction that I've been talking about for how many years now that we're going to do this? At least a couple, right?
Yeah, at least a couple.
Yeah. I cannot actually do it until I get the garage cleaned out. There's just not enough physical space to construct what needs to be constructed in a manner that is worth doing. Like, could I chop the boards up and nail them individually. Like, yes, I could, but that's not how you're supposed to build shit. Same thing with like when I bring the paneling in and when I'm doing the shelving and whatnot. Like, yes, I could cut this all into much smaller pieces, but then I've got a bunch of seams everywhere. I just don't want to do that, right? If I'm going to do it, I got to do it right. Unfortunately, my house is the house that all of my in-laws have been like, oh, you've got a garage, you've got an attic, go ahead and take this for me, store it. And I'm like, I don't want your shit. Like, why are you giving me your shit? And then you're like, you're getting everything in the will. And I'm like, all right, that's a house I could sell in the future. I will take your fucking shit. That's fine. So, but it's just everywhere, right? Because over the last couple of years, when I got sick and when I got diagnosed with a lymphoma, everything just kind of went on hold, right? It's like, Dad has cancer. Let's focus on that, and everything else can kind of fuck off. So it was all of during the diagnosis and the process leading up to it, then throughout the treatment and all of that, and then throughout the recovery, the garage and the attic have just gotten absolutely fucking destroyed because the rest of my family just went, throw it out there, put it in the garage, put it in the attic, without any really like rhyme or reason or thought to how it was going to happen. So in order for the stuff to leave the garage and go to the attic also needs to be handled. So that is why I have tried to get a decent chunk of work done in the attic this week, because I really want to get this expansion done. I would like to get it done. I'd like to be out here doing the construction part when the weather is a little cooler. And in order to do that, I got to suffer now up in the attic, right? Because I don't want to build when it's 10 degrees outside. I don't want to do that shit either. So that's kind of what I've been working on this, and just fucking abysmal. How hot has it been by you this week?
Mid 90s most days. Like
yeah,
92, 95.
That's what it's been here. And just spending time up in the attic in mid 90s heat is it's fucking stupid. I don't recommend it, like even a little bit.
Not a great time, no.
The other part of it too was that I do not want raccoons and whatnot coming back into the attic this year. Like I have to prevent that as well. In order to do that, I had to actually get to the back of the attic over top of where I thought they were coming in, figure out how they were getting in, then figure out a way to block that off. So I've been doing that shit all week. The last thing that I've been doing, and this was, this just kind of spiraled out of control, was I took... Penn has had the PS4 in her room for a while. And the reason that I have a PS5 is, one, thanks to all of you lovely people, but also because my PS4 Pro sounded like a fucking jet engine was taking off. It was so goddamn loud. Same thing with the PS4. They both were, like, you couldn't play them in the room unless you had headphones on. That's how loud they were. It was just absurd. So this week I got some thermal pads, and I got some thermal paste, and I got my electronic or my little electronics toolkit, and I decided that I was going to fix that problem. So this week I disassembled, completely cleaned out, vacuuming out the fucking heat sink and poking like through it with a knife to get all the shit out in between, like really, really going to town, deep fucking cleaning on both the PS4 Pro and the PS4. And I am very happy to report that it was nowhere near as hard as I thought it was going to be. and I did not fuck anything up in the process. And they are both quiet now. They are both... I'm not going to go so far as to say that they are operating like brand new PlayStations, but they are... You can be in the room with them being on. And I was very, very happy about that. Have you done anything to that effect?
No, I've never replaced a fan in any of my systems, I don't think. I mean, I've opened up game systems before, like I installed Mode in my Dreamcast.
Right.
But no, I've never really messed with fans because I've never really had that be a problem with any of my game systems, you know? Like my PS4, I never used it enough, and I've never had, you know, I've only ever had a fraction of the number of dogs in my home as you do.
That's fair. Yeah.
The fan has never really become enough of an issue in any of my old systems to warrant anything other than just like blasting some compressed air and calling it a day.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking cracking open an Obama-era PS4. It was fucking dusty as shit in there. But the actual main thing that this week has been was that after I got done fucking with the PS4s, I was like, you know what? I've got this hard drive over here that doesn't work anymore. Let me go ahead and open that up too. Let me open up this hard disk drive and see if I can't get that working again, which I could not. And then I started looking around and I was like, all right, well, fuck. If that is toast, then I have lost a significant amount of pictures of the kids and documents and files and all of that shit. Because I had backed up and then backed up to a backup. And as I was going through and I opened up the one and I was like, fuck, that one doesn't work. And then I tried a couple other ones and I was like, well, fuck, these don't work either. So now I don't have any of this shit anywhere. And as I was cleaning out the attic, I found a computer up there that had just got thrown up there at some point. And there was a hard drive still in it. So I pulled that one out and I had to go get a docking bay in order to get it to work because the original docking bay that I had years ago stopped working. And then I had to run a couple programs to recover all of the lost files. And then what I have been doing throughout the week is I now am paying like, I think $5 a month to Google for like 500 gigabytes of online cloud storage. And I am just uploading and have been uploading our digital lives to the cloud so that at some point I can get an NVMe for the Mac and re-download all that shit. But that kind of panic of fuck, dude, like, you know, these are the pictures, like, I thought I had lost the pictures of the kids with my grandfather, right? With their great-grandfather. They only spent time with him one time before he passed away. And I thought I had lost those pictures. So finding a hard drive that had them and then going through the process of recovering all those images off of the drive and then converting them and uploading them and all of that shit, like, that has actually been the main focus this week. Because whether I'm going to look at them again, ever print them up, is not actually the point. The point is that I thought I had lost all that shit. And I was fucking unhappy about it, as you can imagine.
I can. I've been close to that kind of situation before. I'm definitely missing some photos that I'm sure exist somewhere. Specifically, there's a handful of photos from my trip to E3 that doesn't seem to exist anymore, which really bums me out. But
yeah, and I'm sure they're somewhere.
I'm sure they're somewhere.
You know,
for the most part, I haven't really lost much in the photos department. There's been redundancies in place and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I had redundancies in place, and then the redundancies became fucking redundant and didn't work anymore, and I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Because, like, let's just actually be honest here, Kris. There are naked pictures of Tiff that I didn't want to lose. So I got those back. So now I can share them with
naked pictures of anyone.
I can share those with the patrons on a very high level. She's fine with it. That's fine.
She gets some of the money, so.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So that has been my week. Not a ton of games, just a ton of cleaning and like the management of digital life and digital storage sort of thing. And dealing with the unreliability of said storage.
Well, bollocks. Certainly sounds like there are certainly better ways to spend your summer, but I suppose
there certainly are. But it had to be done.
Yep. Well, let's see. I have had a busy week. We're getting ready for vacation, which officially for me starts tomorrow.
And I did have one other thing. Remind me when you're done. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, let's see. I didn't get to play much in terms of video games this week. I didn't get a chance to try Project Neon because I picked the Switch version and that didn't come out until the other day. And I just haven't had much downtime. We recorded TWIP. I hosted Quizzo. Prepping for the podcast. Prepping for vacation. Sorry. Brain is braining. I've been playing Jellies at night before going to bed. I'm spending my time at the gym when I'm doing cardio, catching up on movies I haven't seen that I only kind of wanted to see. So this week I caught up on, I don't remember if it was just this week or maybe some of last week too, but I've now seen on a very small screen and in various parts, but all of the movies of Karate Kid Legends and Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Karate Kid Legends, I really liked the beginning of Karate Kid Legends. I thought that the kid was an interesting character and the setup was interesting. And then they brought in Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, and the movie just kind of started to feel a bit more disjointed.
Okay.
It's like, have you seen that one?
No. I want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's worth watching, especially because, like, at the beginning of it is quite charming, in a Karate Kid sort of way. It's definitely better than the last Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith one. I like this kid way better. But, like, the story of this one really does take the Karate Kid formula and turn it on its head in the beginning. This kid is forced to move to New York. He's from, I think, China, and he's forced to move there with his mom, who's played by Ming Na. His sensei was Mr. Han, Jackie Chan's character. And so he comes to New York, and he's having a hard time adjusting because his mom wants him not to fight anymore because he was a good fighter, but so was his brother, and his brother died fighting, and so she forbids him to fight anymore. He comes to New York, he meets a cute girl at a pizza place who used to date a complete, Johnny Lawrence prick, and so he starts, like, he doesn't like this new kid hanging out with, his ex-girlfriend. It's basically the same situation as, the original Karate Kid, except when he goes into that kind of situation where, Daniel meets Mr. Miyagi, the girl at the pizza shop, her dad used to be a fighter. And he got into some trouble with, like, a loan shark, and so he goes he winds up in an alley, and, like, the kid was at the pizza place and he's leaving, and then these, like, gangsters show up in the alley to beat the shit out of the guy who owns the pizza place, and then the kid comes to his rescue because the kid's a really good fighter. And so the old guy not the old guy, but, like, the adult who owns the pizza shop asks the kid to train him so that he can win a fight to get money to pay off his gambling debts. it was an interesting premise to kind of like turn the Karate Kid formula on its head, and the characters were all charming enough to make it work. But then, like that only is like the first half of the movie. Then, like halfway through, he goes to do the fight. They cheat in the fight, and he gets hospitalized. So Mr. Han shows up to train him further, so he can enter the tournament and win the money for the guy. Which is like, okay, weird that he traveled halfway across the world to help this pizza guy out that he doesn't know. And like, that's weird enough. But then like he gets there and he says, I'll be right back. I'm going to California. And then he shows up in Daniel LaRusso's karate studio from Cobra Kai, like, you know, Mr. Miyagi's old place. And he's like, yeah, me and Mr. Miyagi were old friends. I need your help training this kid because I want this kid to learn Miyagi-Do karate because it's, you know, Mr. Han does kung fu and it's a karate tournament. So I want him to learn karate and I want him to learn Miyagi-Do because our families go back generations or whatever. And Daniel's just like, I can't just up and leave to go to New York for like however long to train this kid. And Mr. Han's just like, okay, but you will. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not gonna. It's cool, but I have a job, I have a wife, I have a family, I got shit going on. I can't just up and go to New York to train some kid I never met. And he's like, all right, see you in a little bit. So
see you soon.
And then Daniel shows up, and they never explain why. Like, the closest they come to explaining why he showed up was like something along the lines of, any opportunity to pass on Mr. Miyagi's teaching is a worthy one. Like, okay, but like,
I mean, sure, but
that's not like, he never convinced you. Like, it never happened. He just showed up. And then like, the rest of the movie is just this weird, disjointed thing of like, all right, now these characters are here. They're training this kid to do this tournament, and they're arguing with each other over the best way to train. And it's like, but it's Jackie frickin' Chan and Ralph Macchio. Like, no offense, no shade to Ralph Macchio, but like, when the two of them are showing off their martial arts skills, it's like one is clearly thoroughly trained and the other one is Ralph Macchio.
One is clearly Jackie Chan and the other
is Ralph Macchio. Like, so the back half of the movie really kind of shits the bed. It's not terrible, but like the first half, I was really into it. I was like, man, why do people not like this movie? I think this is pretty good.
Does it seem like maybe they shoehorned Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio into it like later?
It seems to me that the impetus behind this movie existing in the first place, this is my guess, this is my hypothesis. This movie exists in the first place because they wanted to tie the Karate Kid universes together and do a crossover following the success of Cobra Kai. And then somebody decided to make this movie, and some screenwriter had the good idea of turning the Karate Kid formula on its head, and then the studio was like, okay, but these characters have to be there too. And then that's how it got shoehorned into something it was supposed to be there the whole time with, but then wasn't because somebody had a better idea, but maybe not as marketable an idea.
Okay.
So that's Karate Kid Legends. It's an interesting flick. You should watch it. I mean... Yeah,
I wanted to see it.
I think it's a better movie overall than the first Jackie Chan one. It's leagues better than the next Karate Kid. Like, that's not even a comparison. It is a solid movie. It just kind of, trips over its own dick halfway through.
Sure. Don't we all at times?
Don't we all? So Blue Beetle. Have you seen Blue Beetle?
I have not.
So I decided to put this one back on my list. Like, I was interested in seeing it in the first place. Again, from the Cobra Kai connection, because Sholo, whatever the heck his last name is he's a cool kid. I liked him in, what was it, Parenthood, I think was the first thing I saw him on, and I like him in this. But anyway, I thought this the reviews for this movie were like, yeah, it's pretty solid. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's a pretty fun superhero origin story. And I was like, I like superhero origin stories, and I've always liked the Blue Beetle character. I don't know the lore super well, but I've always loved the design and the name. Like, I just thought Blue Beetle was cool. But then it kind of like fell off my radar. But then they recently announced that he's going to be in the next Superman movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, what's his, why can't I remember his name? The guy in charge of DC.
James Gunn?
Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn. He had said, when this movie was coming out, he's like, this is actually going to be like the beginning of my DC universe. And I was like, is it though?
But is it though?
Yeah, I don't know. But it kind of fits. The only thing that really throws me off as far as it being a part of the current James Gunn universe of movies is that they mention the existence of Batman. But there's nothing really saying, there is nothing at all in Superman or Supergirl that intimates that Batman doesn't exist in this universe.
No.
So it doesn't contradict anything. It's just weird that he knows of Superman and Batman as like these characters exist. But I mean, I guess the Superman thing doesn't matter because he's already been Superman for a while when that movie happens. Right. So yeah, just the fact that like very matter of fact Batman exists, but you never see him. Like he doesn't cameo in the movie or anything. None of those Snyderverse actors cameo in this movie at all. So it's okay. It seems like it fits as long, depending on how they handle Batman in the future in the DC universe. So the movie itself is pretty by the numbers, and it goes a little overboard in the it's Jaime Reyes, but Ted Kord is a part of the story. So like the original Blue Beetle, Ted Kord Blue Beetle is a character that existed in the past. Ted Kord is presumed dead, missing, and then there's like the whole Scarab thing, and I think the whole plot was that Ted Kord, the Scarab didn't choose Ted Kord, so he like kind of made his own tech to imitate what he thought the Scarab could do, and that's how he made his like Blue Beetle superhero thing happen. But after he died / disappeared, his evil sister took over Kord Industries, played by Susan Sarandon, and she is working on getting the Scarab to like, create the OMAC program and make the OMAC villain. And then the Scarab winds up choosing Jaime, and her like hot niece or whatever is the one who gives it to him. And it is a very by the numbers story, but he does a good job. The action sequences are great. The humor doesn't always land. It very, very, very much goes into the Latino culture of the character, and
that's cool.
It is very cool. Yeah, a lot of the movie is in Spanish, and I don't know. Some of the humor really doesn't quite hit. Some of the the grandmother is oh wow, the grandmother knows how to use guns and she has an action sequence. Like, okay, it's that kind of thing. Like very tired kind of superhero jokes, but it's got enough of a personality to kind of rise above it. It is a solid, I want to say like 6.5, 7 as far as like superhero movies go, and that's worth watching at home.
That's worth watching.
Yeah, that's worth watching. Absolutely. It is not a bad movie. It's not an amazing movie, but it's got some really cool moments, and he's really fun to watch. So I love that they're bringing him back, because I certainly wouldn't mind seeing more of him in different contexts, because that Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle is a really cool character. I love the design. I like the notion that his suit is like not entirely dissimilar from Venom, but also not. It's cool. I liked it.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. As far as actual video games, I didn't get a chance to try Project Neon. I have been playing Jellies at nighttime, but there's not much to say about it. What I will talk about is Dragon Hopper, because we actually started the podcast a few minutes late because I was just finishing the game. I wanted to see if I could beat the game before going on vacation, because I'm not bringing that stupid fucking cardboard Virtual Boy head piece with me on vacation. Like, I'm just not doing it. And I had a feeling that I was getting close to the end of the game. And I finished it, and the last boss battle was pretty cool. The game took me, because I can actually check this now. Let's see, that's on the Nintendo Switch app? Yeah, so I took a screenshot. It's over here. Because you can still take screenshots of the Virtual Boy. It just unfortunately shows them in, like, the two tiny screens. So I'll have to zoom in here. All right, it took me about 3.5 hours to beat the game. I was kind of rushing through the last couple of levels. I could have spent more time, searching for little treasures and stuff, but I didn't. Sure. I was kind of like, all right, I want to get to the rest of the story and get through this. This game was an absolute delight. I really, really enjoyed playing through this. I would have absolutely, like, this would have been the kind of game I would never shut up about if this actually came out back when the Virtual Boy was out. And I think it would have reviewed really well. I don't think it would have saved the system, because I don't think anything would have, pretty much what we talked about before, but this was a hell of a showpiece for the Virtual Boy. This is one of those games that I think you can play in 2D, but it would lose a lot. Like, it is really, really based on being able to see it in 3D. It's very similar to those, like those dungeons in A Link Between Worlds that were were so vertical. That's really what the entire game is, like that kind of verticality, and that works way better in 3D, especially in monochrome. Like in Link Between Worlds, you could play it in 2D because, it was polygonal and in full color. This is not in full color, and it's not polygonal, so those 3D effects are really important as far as jumping and landing, which is such a huge part of the game. It's most of the game.
Right.
But the later levels get not super hard, but certainly challenging enough to keep it interesting. And you keep getting new powers, like all the way through to the end of the game. You keep getting these new dragon transformations, like one of them can shoot ice, and then you get one that can shoot fire, and then you get one that's a wind dragon that you can use these tornado things and jump up super high. And it's a clever game. It's not like the most in-depth thing in the world, and I think that's kind of partially by design, because you couldn't really make games that were more complex than, say, Wario Land or Dragon Hopper, because you didn't actually want people staring into the Virtual Boy for hours upon hours upon hours. It's just not what you want. I do wish that they would let me play this game in 2D on my TV, because I would have gotten through this sooner had that been the case.
That has to be coming at some point.
I really hope so. It's such a Nintendo thing for them to just not. Like, no, screw you. If you want to play these games, you've got to play them like this. And I'm like, because they added the color options, and those are cool, but I wound up just because that's what it was built for, I played through it in red and black, just because I wanted to be authentic. I would have much rather... So the thing about the cardboard headset that I had said in the first place, I thought it was a little bit more comfortable than the stand. But I gotta say, after having played through this whole game with the cardboard one, I really wish I had, found a way to hold on to that stand version, because that's a much more long-term comfortable thing, because you're not holding it up. You're not physically holding up the entire unit to your face the whole time. Like, eventually my arms, I don't know if they got tired is the right word, but like just it became uncomfortable. I would lose circulation, honestly. Like, holding them straight up like that for so long, I would just start losing circulation in my hands and be like, all right, I got to put this down and shake my hands around to get the blood flowing again. But the game itself was just such a delight. It's such a marvelous vintage Nintendo experience. It was so much fun, and I'm really, really glad I finally got to play through it. I don't know how much more time I'm going to put into Zero Racers, because I just don't like playing these games like this. Like, I just don't. I loved the Virtual Boy when it first came out. I have an infinite fascination with the system, and it is a neat thing to jump into from time to time. But actually sitting and playing games to relax at the end of the night, it's just one of the least comfortable ways to do that. And that's why I wish, I would gladly sacrifice that 3D option to be able to experience these games on my TV with my controller. And I know I can do that through various other technologies. I know it's possible to get these games up and running on my 3DS if I decide to soft lock it, jailbreak it or whatever. Soft mod it, that's it. But that's just not the way I do things. I would very much like for Nintendo to just give me the option to play this on my goddamn TV. And I don't understand why that option doesn't exist. Because they release videos of these games on YouTube.
They do indeed.
And they are functional. So why can't I do that? Why will you not let me do that, Nintendo? You're making me crazy. That's it. That's all I got.
It's super annoying. It's super fucking annoying. Good news, though.
There you go. What's up? What you got?
Ahsoka Season 2 confirmed to debut January 20th, 2027, exclusively on Disney+. The D23 panel started. And that is the first announcement.
Oh, the Star Wars one. The Marvel one was earlier, right? They
no, it's all right now.
Oh, it's all right now.
It's all right now. Yeah.
Earlier today...
There were leaks and rumors earlier today.
Marvel gave fans a first look at James Spader as Ultron in the upcoming Disney Plus series, as well as a few other tidbits and a special teaser. Oh, it was a teaser for the show.
Yeah.
That was that played at the Anaheim Convention Center floor. Okay, so that's why I hadn't seen too much more news besides just that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first thing, Ahsoka Season 2, January 20th. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
The last thing that I wanted to mention, and I just wanted to put this out there. I picked up this week I picked up the 4K of Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Okay.
Ooh.
And I watched it, and it was fucking great. And it's the unrated version, so the fight against the Crazy 88s is all in color. There's no switch into black and white for it. The extended anime sequence with Oren Ishii. There were a lot of just little bits to scenes that was like, oh, that was extended or whatever. It was very, very cool. Stupid me, though. Assumed it was all going to be on one disc. And it is not. Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, when you purchase it, at the very least if you purchase the 4K edition, comes with 4 discs. One 4K Blu-ray that has the first movie, so up until the fight with the Crazy 88s. Then there's the intermission. Then you got to put in disc 2. For the second half of the movie. And apparently the Blu-ray follows the same format. So you still cannot buy a format that will allow you to just put it on and watch it. That exists digitally, and you can acquire that format. But buying it physically, that is still not a thing. Now, apparently it's because of the remastered 4K transfer and the Dolby Atmos sound and all of that stuff. A single 4K Blu-ray disc is not big enough to hold both films. Now, could they have put Blu-ray cuts of both films on a 4K? Probably, but then you're kind of getting into some weird marketing and discussion there. So, anyway, still awesome, still totally worth it. Transfer looks great, sound is great, all of that stuff. Vivica A. Fox is still shit. Like her in a lot of other things. Do not like her at all in this movie. Just about as wooden as could be, except for the line, I should have been motherfucking Black Mamba. That shit is fucking funny. But anyway, it was great.
You know, I still haven't watched The Whole Bloody Affair. I haven't watched it all. Like, I really just want to sit and watch the whole thing without a break in between.
Yeah, I mean, I put the disc right on. Like, I watched it without a break, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. You know, the intermission popped up and I grabbed the other disc and I put it on. But, like, am I weird in thinking that it would have all been on one disc? That was just my assumption.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah. Definitely not. Definitely not. I'll let you know how the Arrow Ninja Turtles set works out, though. I'm very excited that I picked that up.
I'm excited that you picked it up, too. Okay. I think it's time
that's it.
to call it a night.
Enough.
That's it. I'm officially on vacation. That is our
Fuck
show.
all y'all.
Join us next time for something. We just talked about this. Next week, we're off.
Yep, we're off next week.
And then when we come back, we're going to be doing... that's when we'll do the 10, 20, 30, 40.
Yes.
So, on the 28th, we'll record the 10, 20, 30, 40, and it'll be a decent one. I've already done the notes for it, because I thought that's what we were doing tonight. And it's been very difficult. The 10, 20, 30, 40 has been a challenge. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. We're finally getting to some decent stuff here. So, huzzah to all. And that's it.
And to all, good night.
We're on most social media
right?
platforms. Yes. If you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep the show running week after week, and our patrons are loved and appreciated. The show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.
Bonus round.
I tell you, it's kind of weird not having baseball on now.
I was gonna say I'm watching the. I just put the Yankee game on, and as soon as I did, Trent Grisham hit a home run. So now the Yankees are up 1-0. But it is the Apple TV Friday night game, and man, the cameras they use are really fucking good. Like, it is so noticeably different watching an Apple TV broadcast versus like just a regular MLB broadcast. Fucking Christ.
Did you happen to watch the Field of Dreams game at all?
No, I did not.
I did not care. I mean, I liked the game because, you know, the Phillies actually showed up. And when we show up, we can be pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty solid baseball game when we play baseball. Which is not what we had been playing for the last, couple of
weeks.
Yeah. Last couple of games were pretty brutal. But Netflix had some weird camera angles.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that fond of. They kept they had like a head cam on the umpire, I think. Yeah,
like the behind the plate cam.
Yeah,
so you can kind of like see the pitch coming in.
Yeah, it was very shaky.
Yeah, well, it's on a human's head.
Yeah. That was weird. Then they had like these like in the dirt cams and stuff. Like,
yeah, I've seen those.
I feel like this is unnecessary.
I really haven't paid too much attention to anything other than the first Field of Dreams game, because that first Field of Dreams game, it was Yankees White Sox, and they did the whole thing, and they were reading the speech, and Kevin Costner came walking out of the corn, and then all the Yankees came walking out of the corn. It was fucking magical, man. It was so special and so interesting and cool and different, and like, now it's just a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's cool. But like, that first time was so cool. And now it's like, oh, this is neat.
Yeah, I feel like that's
I don't need to be super
you need
into
to
it.
do a whole lot of times.
Yeah.
So what are the Yankees are playing the Blue Jays, eh?
Yeah. Seriously,
I brought the game up. Because why not?
The cameras that Apple uses for these broadcasts are...
Did someone just get thrown out of the game?
Yeah, Aaron Boone got thrown out, arguing balls and strikes. It was definitely low. And then Boone got...
I think, that was something fun about the Field of Dreams game, was CC Sabathia was one of the commentators.
I do fucking love listening to CC talk, man.
I used to like watching him pitch back in the day.
One of my absolute favorites, man. Absolute. I fucking love CC Sabathia. And he's like... He's just really fun to listen to. He does he's been doing a podcast with Ryan Rucco where, I mean, that dude's got a filthy mouth. It's crazy, dude. He's like as bad as we are.
Yeah, CC's really humble, too. Like, you kept, like, bringing up things. It's like, oh, and how did you do against... It's like, me? Oh, I was terrible. That was a bad night. I pitched like crap.
He is. I think he will... I think he'll be on a national broadcast at some point. If he wants it, you know.
I mean, he's no John Kruk, but who is?
I do really like John Kruk. I mean, he's not good. I do really enjoy listening to him.
Fantastic. I love listening to him. Those two, especially John Kruk, and I never remember the other guy's name. I love that guy. He's the one who's like on all the NBC broadcasts. I absolutely just his voice. And honestly, his voice reminds me a little bit of John Sterling, which is, I think, what makes he has a very good baseball announcer voice.
Yeah.
Not that anyone will ever be John Sterling again, but it's that kind of baseball announcer voice. But those two, like, a lot of times, if you're listening to sports commentators just talk about bullshit, it's kind of annoying, unless they've got really good chemistry. Not with them. I listen to John Kruk's insanity all day. He's so fun. The two of them make such a great combo.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. I don't think John Sterling was a very good baseball commentator either. But he was the best baseball commentator. You know, like it was like you were sitting there with your crazy uncle or like your grandfather and just kind of talking about baseball. Like, I don't think he was very good at calling a game.
Right, but it's baseball. I mean, how good at calling the game do you need to be to make it entertaining? I think that's what made him the best, was that he loved it so much. Like oh
god, I loved the home run calls. I loved them.
The home run calls were great.
Much.
And my
favorite one is still Hideki Matsui, A Thriller by Godzilla. The fuck out of here. That's out. That's money. That's gold. A-Bomb from A-Rod was good. Like, the Bam Tino. All of that's great. But A Thriller by Godzilla. Fucking awesome. Yes. Sign me up. I'm in.
Tom McCarthy. I don't know why I can't remember that name for nothing.
Because it's such a nothing name. Like, it's Tom.
He's got a great personality, but he just doesn't strike me as a Tom McCarthy, but hey, whatever, man.
No.
It works.
I do not like these Blue Jays City Connect uniforms at all.
Oh, I'm on a commercial break right now. I can't see him. And I wasn't paying any attention.
I don't like black pants in baseball. I don't know why, but it always looks wrong.
Oh, You know what I really hate about that? It's the fucking TD logo. I think that's what I hate more than anything. It absolutely just completely clashes with the rest of that outfit. Like, not even... That's bad. That is... Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's real bad, but, like, I don't like black pants in baseball. Even if those pants were, like... The like electric blue color that they're using for this.
I was just going to say,
I think I would like that better.
Could have been blue. Yeah, there is something a little odd about it.
Baseball pants are white or gray. That's it.
Oh wait, are those black? Oh, maybe it's just the lighting. There was something when he was bending over at first base that kind of made him look like they were dark blue, but no, they're definitely black.
Yeah, no, they're black with the like electric blue. I don't mind. Like, I would, if that uniform were on a white top and white pants, I think I would like it a lot. I like the I like the fucking skyline. I like the Toronto across it.
Yeah,
like it's a
pretty
cool
nice.
font.
Honestly, like even if the top stayed black and with white pants, it's like that's kind of how Mets uniforms do it a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think that would work.
They have like a third alternate jersey that they wear.
I never would have thought of it. I never would have thought a single thing of it unless you had pointed it out. Now it's kind of weirding me out too.
The black pants.
Yeah.
When I think what it is, like any color other than, and maybe this is just a me thing, any color other than white or gray, and they look like race car drivers.
I think they should have plaid.
Especially
wear like 90s skids.
The Blue Jays should definitely have a plaid uniform. Let me see. Can I find the Colorado Rockies City Connect are the fucking worst. Because no, they got new ones. Their green City Connect ones were so fucking crazy. I'm going to send you this picture in the chat. And tell me this motherfucker... I mean, it helps that it's Charlie Blackmon and he had long hair and a beard. But tell me this motherfucker does not look like a race car driver. And I will tell you, you are a fucking liar. Hold, please. Okay. Just posted. That motherfucker, like, that's a race car driver. Those pants, like, it's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's stylish. I mean, the white belt really works, but it doesn't look like a baseball uniform. You're right; it looks like a race car driver.
He looks 100% like a race car driver. Now, if you look at, I'm going to put their current City Connect uniforms for the Rockies, so much better.
That's the blue and purplish thing. Yeah, I've seen that.
So much better. With the white pants, oh, love that. That looks great. Colored pants in baseball, though. Can't do it. Can't fucking do it. Anyway.
I like the Phillies City Connect uniforms. I think they also have black pants, though.
They do. I don't like them at all. I also really like the fact that the Yankees are like, absolutely the fuck not. No. We're not doing it. I mean, it also speaks to like why the Yankees are no fun at all, but like, I kind of respect their absolutely not.
See, these ones I really like the Philly City Connect ones. I like the kind of like, because the top isn't also black. It goes the fade up from black to that light blue.
It's got that ombre effect to it, which is pretty. I like the top. I like the hat. I don't know. I'm so hung up on pants of a different color. I can't fucking stand it.
I don't know what it is about these ones that are like the Blue Jays ones are kind of irking me, but the Phillies ones don't.
Yeah. No.
You know what I think it is? I think it's that these guys just look like the fucking Mets. I think that's what it is. I mean,
that's also part of it, and that's never what you want. You don't ever want to look like the fucking Mets.
Right, because there is a black Mets. What is it?
Their alternate jersey. It's like their Friday jersey or whatever.
But they don't have the black pants. They have white pants.
Right.
But that's really similar to the Mets jersey. I think that's what's irking me more than the pants is that they just kind of look like bootleg Mets.
Now, if the Yankees were ever going to do it, they would have to go, like... They would have to do something like the Bombers, and it would have to look like a fucking World War II plane or some shit. You know? Or, like, they would have to throw it back to when they were the New York Highlanders. You know, like, you can't... Because Yankee fans are no fun either. They're also not going to accept it.
Your disdain for your team is very amusing.
I fucking hate my team so goddamn much. I hate them. It's what's stupid about fandom. I should not be a Yankees fan at all. There's nothing about me, about the person I am, what I believe in, nothing about me that is like, yup, let me suck on that particular corporate dick. However, stupid granddad. Fucking asshole.
Well, Karen has kind of morphed into a Phillies fan. She's enjoying watching baseball again, and she has acquiesced to the local team, and she's enjoying watching the Phillies as much as anyone does. Where it's like, I think we were losing really bad the other night, and she looked at me and said, "Why did you make me love this team?" I said, "I did nothing of the sort."
They're a lovable team. Bryce Harper's lovable. Fucking greasy, fucking wet kid.
Brandon Marsh is a lovable guy.
Brandon Marsh.
Philly Fanatics, outstanding. They got a good stadium. Yeah. I've always liked the Phillies, and I'm very glad to be a fan.
Don Mattingly's great.
Really don't know how this Eagles thing is going to go this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with it. We'll see.
Man, I hope it goes terribly.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I hope it goes poorly, and I hope they suck and lose every game. Fucking hate the Eagles so goddamn much.
If anything, that'll just solidify me being a fan. I do love watching teams. I Flyers and Phillies. I love teams that almost make it.
Speaking of, fucking hockey preseason is soon.
Yeah. I think the first, Eagles-Ravens preseason game is, I think, this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking up the Weezer tickets that I got to get for me and Roddy. And they were, like, selling fucking, whatchamacallit? They were selling preseason hockey tickets. Fuck off. Absolutely not.
I think the only thing I'm missing now is basketball, and I just don't know that I can get into it.
I fucking love basketball, man. I really do.
But it's really I did fun. Find I keep getting advertisements for a shirt that I really, really like. It's just too stupid. It's ERS, ERS 76 times on a shirt.
Oh God.
I was looking at it like, what the hell is... Oh my God, that's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, that is your kind of stupid.
It's 76ers.
God damn it. I hate that so much.
Oh, I love it.
I hate that so much.
I just don't think I can... I think 3 sports is enough for me. I think baseball, football, and hockey has me covered all year round. I don't need add anything on top of that.
Yeah. I get that. I just really like basketball.
Didn't somebody important go to the Sixers this year?
Yeah, LeBron James.
LeBron James. That was it.
Didn't somebody important? Yeah? Arguable.
I knew it was somebody important.
Arguably important. One of the greatest players of all time. Yeah, fuck, these tickets are going to cost me $100 and something a piece. Son of a bitch.
Well, Blue Jays are having an okay inning.
$10 a ticket. What's that?
Blue Jays are having an okay inning.
Nah. Oh, fuck! Damn it, Luis Garcia! No, why did you do that? Son of a bitch! And Vladimir Guerrero just killed George Lombard Jr. What a fucking fat piece of shit. Fucking hate him.
I can't tell if I'm ahead of you or behind you.
You're behind me.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, something real dumb happened pretty recently. Okay. Oh, that guy's glove just fell off. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, yeah, my God. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
That was a bad scoop. And then he tries to throw him out. Nobody's on the base, and fucking Vladimir Guerrero just takes out Ryan McMahon. Or no, that is George Lombard Jr. I thought so, you fucking fat dick. Hate you. Smiling and laughing as your fat ass runs around. Fuck. Good. I hope you hurt. I hope you hurt for the rest of the season.
Who were we just playing? We just played a team that had like this short little troll of a dude. And like, Karen and I were watching the game being like, how does this guy run? Like, what? This guy's got to be really good at hitting. And then I realized it was the shortstop. What the hell team was that?
Are you sure it wasn't the catcher who just hit for the Blue Jays, Alejandro Kirk? Because he's all a 4'8".
Is that it? Was it the Blue Jays that we just played and got our shit kicked in by?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess
he's literally up to bat right now.
Yeah, that little fella, yeah. That was a good at-bat. Way to go. But yeah, he's a little troll.
Yeah, I hate him too. I do not like the Blue Jays.
No, I don't care for him either, no. I say nice things about the other team more often than I should.
I don't really have a good reason for not liking them. I just don't like them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like I should be rooting for Canada, but like, man, you were talking about a fat fuck. God, are you looking at the slow-mo replay of this guy swinging a bat?
Yeah.
That just seems mean.
Fucking shitty Alejandro Kirk.
Oh, man. Yeah, way to go, that guy. Live the dream.
Should have been an inning-ending double play, but yet again, Brian Cashman trades for a guy who is not a fucking first baseman and plays him at first base. Why? Because Cashman thinks he's fucking smarter than everybody. Oh, yeah, he's a baseball player. We'll teach him. Will you?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of discussion about Harper being in right field right now, and I don't think it's going to last because his knee's already bothering him. Like, he was like, look, I'll do whatever Don Mattingly says, but I got a bad knee. And then, like, he's been out in right field for a couple of games, and, like, his knee's already getting fucked up. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you got to put him somewhere that ain't there. I understand putting Alec Boehm on first base because he's so freaking tall. But also, like, as much as I like Alec Boehm, he's problematic. Like, he doesn't work all the time. He's partially defective as a baseball player.
Yeah, man,
when he fucks up, he don't do it.
He's the guy that I would ship out if I were the Phillies.
And that makes me sad because, like, because when he makes good plays, he makes some good plays. But, like, he has made just some absolutely incredible saves, but also, like, he has some pretty big blunders. And, again, he's, like, half the time reliable with getting base hits, like, right in clutch situations. But then he's just also just as reliable for hitting into double plays. So it's like... But you also have, like... It's such a good baseball name because if he hits a home run, he hits a Bohm run. Like, it's just built right in there.
Bohmies, homies, like, it's all good.
It's right
all
there.
All of that works.
It's right there.
He just...
Anyway, we should record a podcast.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to love playing baseball. He seems to be good at baseball.
Ooh, I think I see that. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. He's good at it, but he doesn't love it.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps him from being great. Yeah. There's a lot of guys like that.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches.
Round over.